schools and universities is failing to protect academic integrity. James Cook University researchers warn, unlike plagiarism tools, the detectors only guessed the likelihood text was AI generated. Project lead Wayne Bradshaw says the software poses a risk in the education sector.
But in terms of assessing whether a student has used AI in the production of assessment, it's really got no place.
Victoria will today start rolling out the world's biggest bird flu vaccination program. 5,000 little penguins will be vaccinated at Phillip Island after one died from the H5 strain. It's set to be 10 times the scale of any other vaccination program for wild birds. Australians who've recently turned 50 will soon receive a letter with advice on lowering the risk of dementia. The disease is the country's leading cause of death, with almost 460,000 people thought to be living with it. Minister for Aged Care and Seniors Sam Ray says nearly half of all cases can be delayed or prevented.
The Australian government is running a campaign to help Aussies think about their brain health. We're going to be sending out letters to roughly 340,000 people who turned 50 over the last year with some information about how they can address some of those risk factors.
Magda Szubanski has made her first public appearance since her battle with cancer in a surprise appearance at the Logies. The iconic Australian comedian receiving a standing ovation from the crowd as she appeared in character as Sharon Strzelecki.
I'm not crying, I've just got something in my eye.
Okay, first day at Australia Zoo. How'd it go?
Yeah, good. Yep.
Sam Pang took home the gold Logie for most popular personality. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Jess. With the top 10 set with a round to play, Marcus Bontempelli has been given no guarantees of playing for the Western Bulldogs next week. The Dogs drew with Carlton, missing several stars, including their captain. Coach Luke Beveridge says they won't be taking any risks ahead of finals.
He's just had a bit of a grumbly Achilles over recent times, so it seemed like the time was right. This one just to give him a week off. If it's still hanging around and we feel like another week will really help him prepare him for the wildcard game, then we'll probably rest him again, give him another week to freshen up a bit.
Two other games yesterday to wrap up the round. GWS 54-point winners against West Coast, while Sydney had a 36-point win against Essendon. With a round to play, Adelaide has slipped to 7th and looks set to finish there, meaning they'll play in the wildcard round, while the Power are stuck in 15th and can't move no matter what the result on Sunday against Essendon. Meantime, Melbourne will consider appealing Jacob Van Rooyen's 3-match ban for a severe impact hit. That was on Aliyah. Let's go to cricket. Australia's first test loss to Bangladesh has been described as the country's worst ever loss. The top order in the spotlight after batters Marnus Labuschagne and Jake Weatherald both failed to make the most of their opportunities. Briefly elsewhere, the Kookaburras have opened their campaign at the Hockey World Cup with a 3-1 win over Ireland, and Arsenal has defeated Manchester City 3-0 to win the Community Shield. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Sydney Street, timeless fashion on Unley Road, and now on the Parade Norwood, across the road from Bongiorno's.
18 with a shower or two today, 18 with showers increasing tomorrow, showers easing, and 18 for Wednesday. Partly cloudy and 17 on Thursday. Right now it's 15 degrees on FIVEAA, always Adelaide.
Our last lottery sold out 4 weeks early. And right now, tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery are over 75% sold. Get your tickets now. Win the $4 million Scott Salisbury home in Somerton Park. A single-level sensation with room to move and space to flourish. Our last lottery sold out early and tickets are already over 75% sold. Get yours now. Homelottery.com.au. Licence 15011.
Here's a great deal on your tyres. This month at City Discount Tyres, buy any 3 selected Yokohama Blue Earth tyres and get the 4th absolutely free. Engineered for fuel efficiency, a quieter cabin and a safer ride, these tyres work harder so you spend less. More kilometres, more value, more confidence every time you drive. Head to citydiscounttyres.com.au for this deal and more. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
There's a moment every family hopes for. When you walk in and they're just happy, settled, themselves, and you realise the decision you agonised over was the right one all along. Para Ability Community Care is one of the state's largest and most trusted disability accommodation providers. We're improving lives in small ways every day. Our PAC fully trained carers give your loved one the life they deserve and give you back the relationship you always wanted. Experience our kindness and connection. Visit ourpac.com.au.
You don't just cook a barbie, you command it. You're head of the grill, keeper of the flame, sovereign of the snag, which is exactly why your outdoor kitchen deserves an Adelaide outdoor kitchen. Choose the best appliances at a bar fridge, a pizza oven, or you could make jaws drop with a custom-made concrete benchtop designed as a statement piece.
And they're indoor concrete bench tops too. Handmade and one of a kind. Nothing is off the shelf. Every piece is crafted just for you and no 2 slabs are ever the same. Experience the Wow Factor range in person at the Seaford Meadows showroom on Farrow Circuit or contact Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens for more information.
Serious hosts have serious kitchens. Build yours with Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Visit adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
Is acute or chronic inflammation making it hard for you to move freely? Are you fed up with joint stiffness, swelling and pain? Introducing Caruso's Inflammation Ease. Caruso's Inflammation Ease is an effective herbal anti-inflammatory. It also relieves mild arthritis, mild joint inflammation, stiffness, pain and swelling. Say goodbye to inflammation and start moving freely again with Caruso's Inflammation Ease. Available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Stop dreaming and start living. Win one of 3 Dreamhaven caravans. Plus there's 50k in vouchers to be won nationally. Buy the advertiser, find today's code word and enter online at winwithnews.com.au. Conditions apply. SAT 26/659.
Come and join the team on 5AA.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's 5AA Breakfast. Real goodies with Stacey Lee.
9 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Monday on 5AA Breakfast, the 17th of August. All is right in the world again because Banana Boogie Bakery are once again the makers of the best vanilla slice in Australia. We'll be chatting with the head baker and owner Jason Spencer before 7 o'clock this morning. We're going to be chatting with our European correspondent on 5AA Breakfast about the fact there have been 20 earthquakes that have hit Europe. He may have experienced some himself. That is Senor David Penberthy live from Spain just before 7 o'clock. He has, spoiler alert, we'll get his sense of what that experience was like. 20 of them. A lot of seismic activity going on in Europe. Stephen Robe always provides a bit of seismic activity, generally after a Crows loss. We had one of those, unfortunately, late last week. We will chat with him this morning and wrap the weekend in sport. Speaking of seismic losses, can't wait to get Rennie's take on the cricketers as well. The loss to Bangladesh, embarrassing. Toop and Toop, we'll talk real estate with Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. There's been a bit of an issue with the Sealink ferry delivery. The Mayor of Kangaroo Island, Michael Pengelly, will be on the program, and lots of fun in and around that, Stace. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. We went to the St Kilda Adventure Playground. Have you taken Molly to? She's way too young. In fact, Rosie was too young, to be honest.
She's not walking yet. So, but we
of course not.
We go to playgrounds for the swings.
Yes, that's good.
So she loves the swings.
Well, there's no bigger swing in South Australia than at the St Kilda. Not that that's purely for adults. Rosie's mum had a lot of fun there. Rosie sort of was a bit, these slides are a bit too much. But I'd been there. We were trying to think about this. I think we drove through there once, probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been around since 1982. I would suspect it was shortly after that was the first time I'd been there, probably 86, 87, something like that. I've got this theory. There are certain things you do in South Australia once when you're a kid, once when you're a parent, and that's probably it. And I feel like, or maybe you do it a couple more times, but St Kilda Playground for me feels like a rite of power. I remember going there with my parents Rosie's gone there now. And I'm not sure if I get another trip there at this point, unless we have a birthday party or pick up friends.
Yeah.
I feel like
It sounds like your wife enjoyed it enough. Maybe.
Oh, she would go there every weekend. She would go there every weekend. The only thing, it's been done up. And I didn't realise this. If you're like me and it's been 40 years between drinks of going to St Kilda Adventure Playground, it's totally zhuzhed up. It was actually really good. It looked spectacular.
I think that a lot of playgrounds are getting the new nature play updates.
Yes.
You know, they're not. Is it still the slides?
Oh, it's still rough and tumble.
Okay, you still burn your bum on the slide.
The original tower is still in all its glory.
Yeah,
Albeit, I reckon they used to have Hessian sacks, or is that just am I confusing some memories with Green Hills?
And what was the big one in the Riverland? There was a massive playground in the Riverland as well where they had Hessian sacks.
Or maybe I'm getting confused with that one. People were bringing their own cardboard to this one. Someone will know. Let us know what the name of the one in the playground in the Riverland. 048008 1395. But one of the things you do as a sort of rite of passage in South Australia, that everyone who's grown up here has done.
Oh, I've got a couple.
You're far away.
The rocking horse.
Yes, the big rocking horse is a great example.
You do that as a kid and then you do it as an adult.
Yeah, that's right.
And then maybe again, if you have some friends visiting from interstate or someone who's got kids, you take them there.
Yes.
The rocking horse.
I almost was going to say another one, but I think I might. We might see what our listeners come up with because I reckon there's a few up in the hills. The rocking horse is a good one. 8223 0000. What are those sorts of things you do? There's a text?
Yeah, Monash Adventure Playground.
That's the Monash,
one.
that's
Sharon.
the one.
Yep. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon. I wonder if that one's got Hessian bags, or have they gone the way of the dodo? Do they?
I remember doing a story on the Monash Playground, and it's changed a lot. Again, it's had the upgrade. It's not as big, and the slide's not as high nor as steep.
Yeah, right. So it's all a bit. It's all been G-rated.
Yeah.
The one thing that they didn't have at St Kilda now that every modern playground has, it's made of that stuff that's spongy.
Yes, on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But that was nowhere to be seen. So that felt nostalgic.
Okay, that's good.
Just an old-fashioned,
depending on...
you land on sand. Or there's no bark chips, so it wasn't entirely old-fashioned. But
Yeah, the bark chips in the shoes when you get home.
Yes.
Picking them up out of the car seat and just shaking off the bark chips.
Yeah, you don't get that anymore with the new softer version. So 8223 0000, your rite of passage things in South Australia. The kind of thing, if someone was born here, if you just say to them, have you ever been to X? They definitely will have been.
Yep.
What should be on our list, folks? Stacey's writing this list down, by the way.
Yeah, I am. I want tips of where to take Molly.
0480 1395 or give us a call on 8223 0000. A bit like the Rocking Horse or St Kilda Adventure Park. What are the places that, as a rite of passage, every South Australian goes through?
Jeanette has sent us a text from Selix Beach, Victor Harbour and the horse and tram ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's so disappointing if you go there and it's not operating for whatever reason.
Yes. Even if you don't go on the horse tram,
want to see it.
You want to see it.
That's exactly. It's part of the experience, is it? Walking out there.
Yep.
Oh, going to pull over the side. The horse is about to go through. Keep them coming through. Getting some good ones. 0480 1395 or 8223 0000.
Build like a brick house. Basic Trailers make quality trailers of all sizes here in Adelaide. Made with Australian steel, you get 12 months warranty and factory direct pricing across SA. Visit basictrailers.com.au. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
Not every conversation stays with you. This one will. Join Stephen Bartlett as he asks the questions and nothing is left unsaid. Search The Diary of a CEO wherever you get your podcasts.
You've worked hard to get here. Maybe it's time your home reflected that. Royal Apartments by Palumbo offers luxury residences in prestigious Kent Town, with Adelaide's parklands at your doorstep and the East End just moments away. Some views last a lifetime. This is one of them. Visit the display apartment at 2 North Terrace, Kent Town, or royalapartments.com.au. Royal Apartments by Palumbo, where city vibrance meets fringe tranquility.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Hyundai in Uriutpa, with a great selection of the best value new demo and low kilometre Tucson, Santa Fe, i30 and Kona. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Hyundai. View our whole range of Hyundai at steinborner.com.au.
You know what sneaks up on you? It's not age, really. It's just little things like when mum or dad starts avoiding the stairs or They're slower than they used to be. And suddenly you find yourself thinking, are they still okay here? Well, that's where Acorn's stair lifts can make a real difference.
They're designed to fit pretty much any staircase, straight, curved, whatever it is that your home has. And they just make moving around easier again, so your parents can stay where they're happiest, in their own home with their independence intact.
If you ever need support, there is help available 24/7. And if it's something that you have quietly been thinking about, well, it's probably worth a look. Just head to acornstairlifts.com.au.
Show the bulldog spirit and give a mighty roar!
This spirit belongs to everyone. This feeling belongs to everyone. This game belongs to everyone. AFL Play. Built by belonging. Visit play.afl/belong to play where you belong.
For seafood that looks and tastes like it came out of the ocean this morning, go to McGill's Fresh Seafood, because chances are it did. Find McGill's Fresh Seafood at the top of McGill Road in the McGill Village Shopping Centre. Owner Andy is originally from Port Lincoln with over 40 years of experience in the fishing and seafood retail industry. Fresh seafood bought daily from local suppliers, sourcing Australia-wide, then processed on site. Expect the best at McGill's Fresh Seafood. Bought today, sold today.
Census night was Tuesday the 11th of August. The census is compulsory for every household. There's still time to complete. Visit census.abs.gov.au or call 1800 181 227. Authorised by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Canberra.
Here's a great deal on your tyres. This month at City Discount Tyres, buy any 3 selected Yokohama Blue Earth tyres and get the 4th absolutely free. Engineered for fuel efficiency, a quieter cabin and a safer ride, these tyres work harder so you spend less. More kilometres, more value, more confidence every time you drive. Head to citydiscounttyres.com.au for this deal and more. City Discount Tyres, we're driven by value.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
19 minutes after 6, we're talking about rites of passage, things that if you've grown up in South Australia, you've definitely done, a bit like the St Kilda Adventure Playground that we were at yesterday. Frank in Birkenhead, what's your rite of passage?
I reckon a nice one would be the Renmark River Murray Princess Queen paddle steamer.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one, Frank. We don't talk enough about the Riverland. I love the Riverland, and we just sort of... It's a beautiful part of South Australia. It's got so many iconic little things to do like that. That's a really good one, Frank. I like that. Lots of great suggestions coming through on the text line.
So many great text messages. Andrew says the farm barn at Harndorf.
Did that one, I think, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Will's going to go, yes, yes.
I'm ticking through these. This is for my benefit, folks.
Little Sahara on KI says, Con, is that where you go down the hill on the...
It must be. The giant sand dune. It does look like the Sahara, I would imagine that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good fun. That is great fun to do, but you have to be seriously fit to climb it more than a couple of times.
Yeah.
It is a long way to the top, and that sand is soft.
It will tire the kids out, though.
That's a good point. Get them to bed early.
Yeah.
I like your thinking.
Dion says, I'd take my daughter to Puzzle Park in Murray Bridge if it still existed. I don't know a whole lot about Puzzle Park, Dion, but it sounds like I'd love it.
Puzzle Park was amazing.
Oh, was it actually a puzzle? Was it one of those?
Oh, there was a maze.
Yeah, the maze.
There was some slides.
Love a maze.
And that was probably about it. It was, you know, if you couldn't go to Queensland to go to the adventure parks, we had Puzzle Park here that was just a short drive from Adelaide.
Perfect.
It was charming.
I love that. Another short drive from Adelaide, picking strawberries at Beerenberg.
Absolutely.
That's a great one.
That is a fantastic one.
And Matthew has suggested Glenthorne National Park. They've got a pretty cool set of playgrounds now, and the new exit on the Southern Expressway at Majors Road makes it easy to get to.
Oh, well, speaking of road infrastructure, I was driving out in the north-south motorway is unbelievable. It's made everything out that way feel so much more convenient.
I've been trying to get the nickname The Nectar. The Northern Connector.
The Nectar is excellent to drive on.
Can we get the Nectar going?
I'm happy with the Nectar. Okay. I was delighted with it yesterday. It was just a fantastic way to get out north. Rick in Nord, good morning.
Morning, guys. You well?
Yes.
Absolutely, Rick. What have you got for us?
Okay, I'm going to show my age, guys.
Yeah.
Growing up, the most common and best thing we ever did was on a hot summer's night, wherever we lived in Adelaide, we'd get in our cars, we'd cruise down Anzac Highway to get to the bay. In those days, the Liberty Hotel and all the pier wasn't there. There was a place called Cookies and a little showground there, and we'd all sit in our cars and look cool and see what hot chicks were around.
It was called Cookies, Rick.
It was called Cookies. You Google that. And where the hotel is now was all like, Ferris wheels and rides. And that whole Esplanade, people just park their wannabe cars and try and look cool and sit on the wall. And that was a Saturday night. And that wasn't too far away. Probably that would have ended, 80s?
That sounds...
Late 80s?
Yeah, I can picture that.
Lots of people will be able to resonate with that. Down the bay, windows open, ask your old man.
He'll remember it fondly, I've no doubt, Rick. I'm not sure he was down there cruising for chicks, but, that's his business.
Maybe he was. You never know. Do you know how your parents met?
It was in Tassie, so if he was around Glenelg, something weird was going on. I reckon there's a similar setup, north semaphore-ish. There used to be when I was growing up. I wonder if there was a lot of the suburban sort of beaches had games rooms and Ferris wheels and rides and so forth. That's what I'm picturing. Maybe Cookies sounds like it might have been a bit of a bigger operation. Chris in Christie's Beach, good morning.
How are you guys?
Good.
Well, when you said once as a kid, once as an adult, that resonates pretty quick. The Popeye on the tire.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one, Chris.
Yep. I reckon that
Kids once, that's it.
Yeah, that could not fit more neatly into that category. I went with my nan on the Popeye. That's the only time I've been.
Yep.
That was probably 40 years ago.
See, I've been as an adult because they do a gin high tea.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's so good.
What?
Really good scones as well.
So you still have scones, but you're having gin?
Yeah, well, it's a high tea with all the food, but you get gin accompanying it.
Unbelievable.
You can have tea if you want, but why would you when there's gin?
It'd make the Popeye a bit more exciting, wouldn't it? Jason at Salisbury Heights, good morning.
Morning, guys. How you going?
Good, Jason.
It would have to be the Plaster Funhouse.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Apparently, have you been recently, Jason, to the Plaster Funhouse? With kids, presumably?
It's around near sort of the old Holden's factory. There's moved and there's one down that way. So
yes.
It's been a while since paintings, but that was one of them.
Someone told me recently it's all the whole range of things you can paint is about 10 times what it was when they first opened the old Plaster Funhouse.
That was part of the fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
That there was only 4 or 5
like
things
4
you could
moulds
choose.
you could pick from.
Everyone was doing the chipmunk.
Exactly right.
And you walked into your friend's house. I've got that one. Also smattered with glitter.
Keep them coming in. 8223 0000 or text us on 0480 1395. Some terrific suggestions coming through.
I just have to read this text.
Yes.
Witnessing a car drive onto the Oban track.
That should be a
rite
rite
of passage.
Oh, but I feel like you're lucky to do that.
Yeah, you don't often witness it. You hear about it.
You do. To see it in the wild is like capturing Bigfoot on your camera. That'd be excellent. I'd be delighted to see that. I know it happens a lot. Thank you. They're great text. You've got more rites of passage, folks. 8223 0000 or text us on 0480 1395. Sorry, sir, I said it wrong before. Logies on last night, and the big one was won by Sam Pang.
And the gold Logie goes to Sam Pang. Sam Pang tonight, have you been paying attention to front bar? Sam Pang.
One of the few people in entertainment, I get the feeling Sam Pang has a universally high approval rating.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Sam Pang.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me one bit.
I don't think you'd come across many people today who go, don't think he deserved it.
No, genuinely funny and very likeable person. And it's hard to do all those sorts of things and have them all in the same package.
And really interesting, I think, because I like football, I get into it, but I'm not a football nuffy with respect.
Yes.
Like yourself and others.
You can call me a nuffy. I'm a nuffy. That's fair enough.
But I love watching the front bar.
Yeah.
It is one of those things, and that is probably the antithesis of what I think I would enjoy, just 3 men sitting at a bar talking footy. But I find it really entertaining. They're really funny with it, and they make it really approachable for someone who has a vague interest but doesn't follow it.
I think you've actually hit on what the genius of that show is. I think it's about football, but you don't have to love football to love that show. And
it's not overly produced. Like, it's
No.
not corny. They used to play the games on the old football show and all the, like, corny factor with it. I was about to say another word there.
I got to see it filmed when it was in Adelaide
Oh,
once.
yeah.
And it's a brilliant, it's a very clever production because during the ad breaks, they'll use Sam or Mick Malloy to do a bit of stand-up. It's a really live audience. And Sam Pang, genuinely, he did when he was in Adelaide. I still laugh about it to this day, and unfortunately, none of it is repeatable on air. But it was some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard. Great show, and he's certainly a worthy winner of the Gold Logie. Let's have a quick look at the weather. 14.3 degrees. 14.3 at the moment.
I know.
Feels like 11.7, but top of 18 today. Reasonable day. The Bureau coming up shortly. Tom Wren in this 5AA Breakfast studio with us. Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on the Pajero Sport, the ASX, the Triton and Outlander, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Good morning to you, Tom Wren.
Morning, Will. Morning, Stacey. Let's get into our winners and losers, shall we? We'll start with a bit of football first. Losers, unfortunately, Crows, men on Friday night. They pushed them. They tried as hard as they can. And they gave absolutely everything. Isaac Rankin was outstanding, but ultimately we said it was huge for ramifications, and it's panned out that way. They're going to finish, you would think, in 7th, and that means wild card. So disappointing. They're a loser, albeit they had a crack. But you see some stats over the weekend, and I don't know. I was just talking to Ned and Sammy a bit earlier. I don't know if it's a system thing or if it's the way they're trying to play or if it's a talent thing. But they are ranked last by a fair way. And I called both games over the weekend. Melbourne tore Port Adelaide apart, and we'll get to that game through handball. And a lot of the top sides seem to be doing it by hand. Crows are 18th for transition metres gained with handball by a considerable margin in the competition, last. So they're playing a game that not anyone else is playing. I wonder whether or not it's going to stand up in finals.
Well, I mean, I think recriminations... it's not just for that game, because I think they did pretty well against a quality outfit over there in WA. But the sport show is going to be fascinating today. There's a stat that I loved out of the weekend, Rennie, because you don't want to. You can be beaten by a better side, and you can be beaten by talent, but you don't want to beat yourself based on the choices you're actively making. And the Taylor Walker, Toby Murray one's going to get discussed. The other thing is, Crows average the highest number of stoppages in the comp. The Crows. First touch from stoppage rates 18th in the competition.
Yeah, that's right.
So they are choosing to actively play a style of game that plays to their greatest weakness.
Yeah, I saw that. It's 70-plus stoppages a game, isn't it? And they win 38% of first possession, which is...
That blew my mind, that statistic.
It's frustrating.
And that's a choice. So getting beaten by your own choices wasn't just this game, this is the season now, is beyond frustrating.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's reflecting in the fan base. We took as many calls as I can remember post game.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was.
What time did you go home? 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was a late one. But look, that's great. That's why we do it. We love it. But it was frustrating. So they weren't bad. It's got to be said. But my God, Rankin and Dawson need more help in the middle. Berry and Peatling, and I like them, but 20 touches between them in a game of footy like that, it's not going to cut it.
Yeah,
so
it's the difference between the two sides, isn't it?
Yeah, big time. Port, they are just limping to the line. It was men against boys. We won't talk about that one for long because I just don't think they had a chance. It was like a heavyweight up against a featherweight.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get an even battle. And well done to the Demons. They're their story of the season, I think, in the AFL in terms of expectation and where they're going to finish. So well done to Stephen King and everything they've done. And just also on footy, before we get to other sport, Crows women, unfortunately, a loser as well. They lost yesterday. But the Port women had a win, which was nice to see. So that has happened.
Yeah. Exciting.
Cricket.
Can we just say that?
Is it weird that the Aussies lost, but are people not too upset about it?
Well, it's a great point, Stacey. So Bangladesh, they're the biggest probably winner over the weekend, and wasn't it beautiful? It's actually heartwarming to see how much it means to them. But doesn't it pose some issues now for the Australian selectors?
Talk about embarrassing. They're lucky it's football season, our cricketers.
Aren't they? You're exactly right. If there wasn't NRL and AFL happening, I think there'd be a royal commission. But
forget the AI.
Yeah.
Mally might actually launch the Royal Commission of the Australian cricket team.
At least it would be relevant.
Yeah,
but it's
desperately needed.
But what do they do now with Jake Weatherald and Marnus Labuschagne? I mean, Cameron Green, to his credit, this could actually be the making of him. The fact he's made a big 100.
Yeah.
I know they lost the game, but he stood up. So it's important for him, and it will do his confidence a world of good. But, wow, there's some issues there. Massive issues for the rest of the Aussie team and that top order. So they've got to sort that out.
Good stuff, Reddy.
And quick. Good on you. Thanks, Stace. Thanks, Will.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
18 with a shower or two today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Keep your body in shape with Physio Extra clinical Pilates and group exercise classes. PhysioExtra.com.
A man's been arrested and charged with dangerous driving after a near miss at an RBT station. Police were conducting drug and alcohol tests on Alif's Road at St Mary's on Friday night when a Mercedes SUV was directed into the site. It's alleged the driver accelerated away during a breath test, almost colliding with an officer and several cars. Police attended a Flagstaff Hill home last night, arresting the 42-year-old driver. His car's been impounded and he'll face court next month. A new opinion poll shows voters are worried about Labor's handling of immigration policy. 54% of people surveyed by Resolve believe the Albanese government is struggling to address the issue. Despite this, core support for Labor remains steady at 28%, followed by One Nation and then the Coalition. The opposition is accusing the government of wasting taxpayer funds on renewable energy. New documents show renewables companies have spent over $40 billion on social licence commitments to win projects under the Capacity Investment Scheme. Coalition Energy spokesperson Dan Tehan says taxpayers deserve transparency.
We need Chris Bowen to lay out the books and show us what is happening with this scheme, where the money is going to, and how it will provide lower energy bills to Australians.
The federal government is encouraging more Australians to take up a trade. Analysis of national data has found apprentices and trainees have the highest rate of employment after course completion. Minister for Skills and Training Andrew Giles says there's never been a better time to get on the tools.
There's never been a better time to get on the tools and become a tradie. What we want to see is more Australians, particularly young Australians, choosing a trade, including to build us more homes.
The country's supermarket giants are conducting early testing of facial recognition technology. The trials come as Woolworths and Coles consider ways to address crime and violent incidents in their stores. Russia says it's been hit with the largest Ukrainian drone attack so far this year. Europe correspondent Josh Bavis reports.
It's been a destructive 24 hours across both Russia and Ukraine. On the southern side of Moscow, a Wildberries warehouse has been destroyed in a Ukrainian drone attack. Russian authorities say the wave of strikes is the largest attack in months, stating 7 people have been killed and dozens more injured. They claim to have shot down at least 800 incoming drones. British media is reporting that the drones used in the attack include those made by 2 companies based in the UK. In Ukraine, 2 people were killed after a Russian strike on a steelworks, and several people were injured when a book market was hit.
Deborah Mailman became the first Indigenous person to be inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Logies last night. Sam Pang took out the gold.
It's very, very easy for me to thank people. It's been very, very clear who's helped me along the way. I'm going to forget some names. If I do forget you, I'm sorry. Also, maybe have a think about how much you actually did.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. Let's start with footy. Carlton has secured a spot in the finals, completing a remarkable turnaround following Michael Voss's departure from the Blues in May. The Blues holding on for a draw against the Western Bulldogs with the top 10 now set. Forward Ben Ainsworth says they were unaware until late in the match a draw would be enough to lock in a final spot.
I don't think there was even a message. They sort of just whacked up a sign, and I was still pretty uncertain, to be honest. But looking around, obviously Deany took that mark and went back pretty conservatively. So that sort of gave the indication that we're all clear, and just happy with the result.
Meantime, Luke Beveridge says there's no guarantees for Marcus Bontempelli to play next week as he continues to manage an Achilles injury. Well, Australia's struggling top-order batters are officially on notice after a humbling 9-wicket loss to Bangladesh in Darwin. Marnus Labuschagne and Jake Weatherald are under increasing pressure, both averaging less than 27 runs since the start of last summer. Captain Pat Cummins says selectors will have a look at their lineup in the lead-up to the second test in Mackay.
Yeah, I think it's a balance of, it's one test, but it's also a little bit of a trend as well. So it's trying to work out, do you need to intervene now or do you let it play out?
Going to be very interesting, Jess. That is the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now the 5AA forecast.
Sydney Street, timeless fashion on Unley Road, and now on the Parade Norwood, across the road from Bongiorno's.
18 with a shower or two today, 18 with showers increasing tomorrow, showers easing, and 18 for Wednesday, partly cloudy, and 17 for Thursday. Right now it's 14 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Come sail with the Vikings.
With Viking, the flights are on us. Book your 2027 ocean, river or expedition voyage now. And for a limited time, we'll include economy airfares up to $2,800 per person. Take advantage of exceptional value and enjoy no kids and no casinos on board elegant small ships with all-inclusive experiences designed for the thinking person. See your Viking travel advisor or book now at Viking.com. T's and C's apply.
To kickstart 2027, the legendary Jimmy Barnes is headlining the mighty Sounds by the River. Along with an all-star lineup of his great mates, John Stevens, Birds of Tokyo, Eskimo Joe, Baby Animals, and more. Manham Golf Club, Saturday, January 9. It's going to be huge. Get your tickets now from soundsbytheriver.com.au.
Looking to hire people who can genuinely add value to your business? At Hunter Careers, you'll work directly with an experienced recruiter with deep Adelaide market knowledge and strong connections. No handballing, no junior recruiters. Just sound advice and a focus on long-term fit. Because some people fill a role, others lift the standard. If the hire really matters, talk to Hunter Careers. huntercareers.com.au.
Now, did you know that we have a little bit of the Netherlands right here in South Australia? If you're wondering where it is, it's the Dutch Pantry in Klemzig. It's like a little Dutch village where you'll find authentic Dutch products, fresh produce, baked cakes made daily, and a whole menu of delicious Dutch meals in their cafe for brekkie, brunch or lunch.
Imagine savouring classics like croquettes or mini Dutch pancakes, hot Dutch lunches, and for autumn, a new Dutch soup every week. Eat in at the cafe or find soups in the fresh egg shop and take them home frozen for later. And at the moment, on Saturdays, they have hot pretzels dipped in cinnamon and sugar. Yum. A perfect menu for a perfect day out.
Oh, that sounds excellent. While you're there, take a leisurely stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips and take a look at the exquisite Delft Blue. Experience the taste of the Netherlands right here in SA at the Dutch Pantry, located on OG Road, Klemzig. Just look for the big windmill.
The Samri Building is a true Adelaide landmark, but what truly sets them apart is the incredible work happening inside. Ever wondered what it's like to be a medical researcher for a day? This is your chance to join the dedicated Samri Health Research Team for a unique behind-the-scenes experience. See firsthand how discoveries move from the lab towards helping people live better. Samri, healthy futures for everyone. Head to 5AA.com.au for your chance to win.
Stop dreaming and start living. Win one of 3 Dreamhaven caravans. Plus there's 50k in vouchers to be won nationally. Buy the advertiser, find today's code word and enter online at winwithnews.com.au. Conditions apply. SAT 26/659.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 7. We're off to Europe to talk earthquakes very shortly. David Penberthy in Spain. You might have heard of him. Our young 5AA Europe correspondent has been in amongst it. He's been shaking over there in Spain. So we'll chat with him very shortly about that. The head baker of the Banana Boogie Bakery as well, once again, crowned the greatest vanilla slice in Australia. So we'll be chatting with them in just a moment as well. But we're getting some lovely texts through, Stace, on the question of South Australian rites of passage, the sort of things you definitely do as a child and then you take your children to do at least once in South Australia.
This one's a great suggestion, Andrew. Magic Cave to see Santa. I was taken as a kid and I took my kids.
Yes.
I love that one. John says in the 90s he remembers going to the Lakeside Leisure Park. It was on Main South Road in Hackham.
Lakeside Leisure Park. That's a good one. I can't speak with experience on that one, but I remember the ads for it.
I haven't heard of it. Ian Minato and the Steam Ranger.
Yes.
A couple of suggestions there. And, where's that other one? There was another one that came through. Woodville Bowls, says Peter. It's not something that...
You know what? It didn't immediately come to mind, but it is our local bowls. So why not? Woodville Bowls? It's good. It's like the whole... I wonder how many of our listeners... When was the last time you went to a bowling alley? It's changed a lot. It's like a disco these days.
I love a bowling alley. I haven't done that for years.
You go to Woodville Bowl, and I think they're all like this these days. And there's lights and there's music. It's like an AFL game. It's just all happening. You used to just be the squeak of the shoes and the sort of the pins getting knocked over, and now it's just there's all sorts of
you get a really
weird
bad hot dog
cartoons.
every time.
You get a bad hot dog, some hot chips.
Yeah.
It's actually great. There's no doubt about that. Ben Jordan on the text line has some stats for us on the cricket team that failed against Bangladesh. He says this was the oldest team Australia has fielded in the last 35,674 days. That's 97 and a half years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
So the good news for Australia, if you're wanting to see, take a lesson from the past, 97 and a half years ago we fielded that really old team, and in the next two tests picked a couple of young guns by the names of Don Bradman and Archie Jackson, and things turned around after that point. So if there's a young Don Bradman around, now would be a great time.
Step up.
Step up. Marge in Hampstead Gardens has called in. Morning to you, Marge.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I've got one at Rolly Park every Friday night.
Oh, there you go. Rolly Park. Marge.
Hit the gravel in the face.
Thank you, Marge. Keep them coming through. Everyone's got one. They're nice and local, these sorts of rites of passage too. I think one of them probably should be buying a vanilla slice from the Banana Boogie Bakery in future. Jason Spencer is the owner and head baker there. Congratulations again, Jason. You guys are just too good.
Thank you very much.
So, I mean, I feel like is this a process by which, and I'm trying to put this in sort of football terms, you have perfected the game plan and stick to what you know, or is it a process of endlessly tweaking that gets you to the top?
Well, this year we pretty much did what we did the last 2 years, but just small little slight tweaks, just the way we cut the vanilla slice, the way we ice them, we practice and we get better at what we're doing. And this year we thought we'd entered the best we'd ever entered, but they took an hour and a half longer to judge because the top three all finished on the same score.
Oh, wow. So did we think that there was some debate behind the scenes, Jason?
Yes, and it was down to the wire. So we were very excited to win. We missed out last year by 2 points. We would have gone 3 in a row, but it wasn't to be last year. But we knew what we'd made a mistake with the year before, and we fixed that up this year. So, those 1% things actually pay off in the end.
We're looking at photos on our live stream, awesome, Jason, and it's making me extremely hungry. Something this is very random, so I apologise in advance. Something I've always wondered when it comes to vanilla slice. Do bakers like the nickname Snot Block, or do you hate that nickname?
It is what it is. Some people, will comment on our comment section and go, "Oh, great, the snot block," and other people will be like, "I hate that terminology." I think it comes back from the old vanilla slices where they were really rubbery on the inside and really that horrible orange sort of colour, and it's just stuck around. And I don't think that they're like that as much anymore.
No.
Can we just go back to the scoring for a second, Jason? For the thing, snot block. I can't. I just can't. It makes me feel physically unwell. So you said it was 2 points in it last year, and everyone was tied this year. Is everyone just sort of given one overall score, or are there components to that?
There's components. So you have your pastry component, your icing component, and then your icing component's broken down into how good the shine is on it and how thick the fondant is. So our first time entering was 2016 and we got second, and then it took us nearly 7-8 years to get back in the top three because everyone just kept getting better and better, and you're like, wow, like you've got to really keep up with it. So there's about 5 or 6 bakeries that are always up in the top 5 or 6, and they always seem to battle it out at the very end there.
And obviously you take it really seriously, Jason, knowing that you needed to better the vanilla slice from last year. Do you see an uplift in sales when you win an award like this, or is it more for, I guess, the name of the brand and personal prestige?
It always helps with sales. I think it's getting to the stage for us with Banana Boogie where we're winning stuff all the time, so everyone already knows who we are and they've either already been or... So it's almost time for me to step back and start judging.
Yeah, that's the next logical step.
Everyone's like, maybe it's time for Jace to, give up. Everyone's sick of seeing him win everything, so maybe we'll get him to start judging. So,
well, that you'll be judging on a criteria that's impossible to meet, I imagine, Jace, at that point. So, I'm not sure contestants want to see that. Hey, congratulations again to you guys, doing South Australia proud.
No worries, beautiful. Thanks for the call.
That's head baker at Banana Boogie Bakery, Jason Spencer, who has done it again. They looked amazing on the live stream.
They looked so good.
Facebook and YouTube. You never know what's going to pop up. Let's go to Dean in Parafield Gardens. Dean, give us a rite of passage.
The Botanical Gardens is as probably good as any botanical gardens in Australia. And then the Boulevard walk from East Terrace down to West Terrace. That Boulevard North Terrace is world class. It's you take your interstate guests there, and they're very impressed.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
That's a great call, Dean. The cultural precinct down North Terrace.
It's
Love
great.
that.
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but when Illuminate's on and it's free, the lights projected on those spectacular buildings along North Terrace. It's just magnificent. It's a great way to showcase it all, I think. I love that stuff. That's a great one, Dean. Thank you. 8223 if you've got a rite of passage for us in South Australia. Let's head to Ellie Matthews at the Weather Bureau. Ellie, good morning to you. It's a kind of a warmish morning, is it not?
Yeah, so the temperature out there at the moment, it's just started to dip down to around about 14 degrees. It was actually cooler overnight at around about 10 or 11 o'clock last night. And then we did start to see the temperatures warm as we got into the morning period. And that's particularly as we are seeing some increasing northeasterlies with this mid-level low that's sitting over parts of the state, which is bringing this area of cloud and even some showers or rain about some parts of the central district. So whilst at the moment things may be looking on the overcast side and temperatures are somewhat mild at the moment, we're expecting to see some showers developing over the Adelaide area, particularly into the afternoon and evening period. Now, we aren't looking to see too much more than a few millimetres. We've sort of got a 0 to 3 millimetres on the forecast there, but it's into tomorrow that we could start to see those showers increasing as this system does continue to linger over the state. Expecting temperatures as well to remain quite mild over the next sort of 24 to 48 hours. So we're looking at today a top of 18 degrees, into tomorrow a top of 19 degrees for Adelaide itself. And even as we get into Wednesday, still continuing with that shower activity as we do see this system will start to move eastwards ahead of a trough that will pass over from the west and generally start to clear the showery conditions into the later part of the week.
Good stuff, Ellie. Thank you. Ellie Matthews at the Bureau of Meteorology. Let's head to SAPOL. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes joins us. Rebecca, a drunk driver crashed their car at Salisbury last night.
Last night, police were called to the Salisbury Highway at Salisbury Downs near the intersection of Kings Road after reports that a car had mounted the median strip and crashed into a sign. Patrols located the Mitsubishi sedan and the driver was breath tested. He's a 41-year-old man from Salisbury. He recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.218, so well over 4 times the legal limit there. He's been reported for drink driving and issued with a 12-month instant loss of licence. So he'll be summoned to appear in court Adelaide today, and his car has been towed from the scene as well, thanks to that crash.
Gosh, that's huge. What was the reading again?
0.218.
Wow.
Very high.
Yep. Tell us what's happened in the city as well, Rebecca. 3 people have been arrested.
Yes, 3 teenage victims presented to the Harney Street Police Station around 11 p.m. last night to report that they'd been approached by an unknown group in the CBD, threatened with weapons and had their property stolen. The robbery allegedly happened a short time earlier in the vicinity of Miller's Arcade, and police searched the area and located a group of suspects matching the description given in Gooja Street. So a 17-year-old boy, a 20-year-old man and a 21-year-old man were arrested. They've been charged with aggravated robbery and carry offensive weapon after police seized a hammer and knife from the trio. And police also recovered the victim's stolen property, including bags, a jacket and a phone. So a good result there. And this group have been refused police bail and they'll appear in the Youth and Magistrates Court later today. But we are still keen to lock down where exactly this robbery occurred. Anyone who saw this incident or has any dashcam, mobile phone or CCTV footage can contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Well done to police in the city for wrapping that one up quickly and finding the mob that was allegedly responsible. Thank you for that, Rebecca. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes there from SAPOL. Let's check traffic and we'll take a quick break and come back with more in just a moment.
Thanks, Will, and morning, Stacey. At Paracombe, a rock slide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague roads this morning. Outside of that, roads looking really good today. Super light traffic's a great start to the day, and we're accident breakdown free, which is always nice. Got some works at Plimpton to look out for. Crossroad near Maynard Road. A little bit slow for works in Mile End South. Railway Terrace near Scotland Road with an early morning camera Midway Road, Elizabeth Park. The MG4 EV Urban Wheels 2026 best small electric car from just $31,990 drive away at Adelaide's newest MG dealer, Adelaide City MG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Automasters is proud to announce the opening of our 100th branch, and we're celebrating with a $100,000 giveaway. Service your car at Automasters before September 30 and you're automatically in the draw. 100 winners, $1,000 each. Automasters $100,000 giveaway. Book online or call 1300 Automasters. See website for terms and conditions. SA licence T261278.
You can feel the difference.
There's a place where you'll always receive the best care. A place where you'll feel more relaxed and comfortable. At Silver Chain, that place is your place. Get the health and aged care you deserve with Silver Chain.
There is nothing efficient about a business where only one person knows where everything is. In a workshop, storeroom, parts area, back office or warehouse, clutter costs time and makes every day harder than it should be.
And that's why Sharman Shelving can be a game changer. Bill and the team don't do one-size-fits-all shelving. They come out, they'll measure your space, design a custom storage system around how your business works, then they deliver it and install it properly. Strong, Aussie tough, steel shelving, workbenches, cupboards, even complete fit-outs.
None of this pre-made stuff.
No.
No Allen's key needed.
No.
No spare screw at the end of it and you think, that's probably needed to go somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully that's not important.
This is quality stuff. Your space will look professional, run more smoothly, and things like stock, tools, paperwork and equipment are easy for everyone to access. Every business needs a little Sharman Shelving.
Take a look on Facebook or Instagram, visit the showroom in Windsor Gardens or jump online at sharmanshelving.com.au.
Booking.com is the easiest way from a gridlock to the freedom of a car that takes you far, far away from it. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
The Red Hot Summer Tour presents a mega hit show headlined by the queen of rock and roll, Suzi Quatro. With very special guests, John Stevens, the Screaming Jets, Baby Animals, Rose Tattoo and more. Suzi Quatro, Down Under 2026. Sepultfield Wines, Barossa Valley, December 5. Get your tickets now at facetofacetouring.com.au.
With Automasters AutoCam, you get a video report on your car with an itemised quote. See the issue, get a clear explanation and approve it instantly by SMS. Call 1300 Automasters.
You can feel the difference.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
5 minutes to 7, a bit of seismic activity in Europe over the weekend, a whole stack of earthquakes. One of those, I was reading a piece, said it was centred on the province of Granada in southern Spain. And we thought, well, that
sounds familiar.
That's good because we just so happen to have a correspondent embedded in the south of Spain. Our very own David Penberthy. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Will. Thanks, Stace. Yeah, this wasn't all part of the plan, but it's been an interesting 48 hours here in Granada. It all started Friday night. at about 7 p.m, which is, about 2:30 in the morning Adelaide time on Saturday. And we were just standing around in the backyard of our house, and I was making dinner for everyone. And suddenly there was just this big sort of, like a big, hard to describe. It was like someone had shoved you in the back. And we all looked at each other, and I said, was that an earthquake? And Kate and Jim and the boys were all just standing there scratching their heads as well. And initially we all treated it as though it was some sort of joke. And anyway, there was no more, like we realised that it was a big tremor. And anyway, the night sort of unfolded as it did. We had dinner, watched a bit of telly, went to bed. And anyway, then at 1:30 in the morning, it's hard to describe the sensation, but for 8 seconds, the entire house and the bed in particular, because we're all in bed, it was like someone was trying to lift the bed up and push it into the wall, and it went on for 8 seconds, and it was a 5.2, 5 to 5.2, they're saying, on the Richter scale quake. And then after that, like, these things, journalists and people who experience these things are prone to exaggeration. So just to check myself, I went back. I did some rare preparation for this chat, Will. I looked at the official European earthquake website, and what happened after that 5.2 quake, there were 14 more aftershocks between 1:30 and 6:30 a.m., the biggest of which was 3.3. And then yesterday, so Saturday Spain time, everything was fine. Then at 6 o'clock last night, there was another little rumble, and we're going, oh yeah, well, what was that? But then overnight there were another 5, the biggest of which was a 3.1. So we've had about 20 earthquakes that are big enough to be classified as significant earthquakes. And, I mean, you know, in the backdrop of what's happening in Flores in Indonesia, where more than 50 people have died, you know, certainly this isn't some sort of attempt to paint this as, you know, my earthquake nightmare. But it'd be great to hear from listeners who've actually been maybe in Japan or in Latin America who've experienced this too. But when you've never experienced one, it's actually like a really unnerving and bizarre thing where you've got no idea how long it's going to go for. And the way people have behaved here, you know, talking to some Spanish people that we've got to know, one guy, his mum lives on her own. She's an elderly lady. She's been unable to sleep. People have been leaving their apartments. People in high-rise apartments have all been leaving and sitting in fold-out chairs in the car park because they don't want to be in the building. It is a really weird thing. And now the big discussion is, was the big one at 1:30 a.m., was that the biggie, or was that a precursor to something else? Given that there was another one 2 hours ago that was 2.1.
Wow.
Like Kate and I were just out in the cab, and the cabbie said, oh, there was one just an hour ago. And we got, really? And he was saying he was on the road the other morning at 1:30. And I said, what happened? Were you actually driving with passengers? And he said, yeah. He said, I had these people in the car and they were all half pissed, and suddenly the car just started lurching all over the road.
Wow. That's an incredible description of what it's been like living through that kind of rumble. But I just want to do something quickly because we've got 15 seconds to go until the news, David, and I think our listeners will appreciate this. What were you cooking?
I was actually, it was the first home-cooked meal we've had, and I was doing something really simple. I was just doing some simple chicken breasts. I'd done some oregano potatoes, and I made a Greek salad. And the good news too, Will, I found out the Spanish Bunnings is called Brico Depot, and I'm going there next week to buy a barbecue.
How many would that be now?
That'll be 12.
No, it's more than that.
What's it called? Brico
Depot.
Okay.
Brico Depot. I'll send you a photo of it.
Yeah, please do. We'll put it up on the live stream. Well,
I'm going to load it up with chorizo.
Hopefully the earth stops shaking, mate, and you can get back to cooking.
Oh, no, did the earth move for you too?
You had to do
Steering
it.
me. Yeah, exactly.
Nice to chat. Look
Stay
after
safe,
yourself.
Dave.
You too, guys.
See you,
Talk
mate.
soon.
Bye.
See ya.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
18 with a shower or two today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Keep your body in shape with Physio Extra clinical Pilates and group exercise classes. PhysioExtra.com.
3 teenagers were robbed at knife point in the city last night. It happened near Miller's Arcade. Police searched the area and located a 17-year-old boy, a 20-year-old man and a 21-year-old man in Goodger Street. The trio was armed with a hammer and a knife. It's alleged they were carrying the victim's stolen property, including bags, a jacket and a phone. They'll face court later today. A man's blown more than 4 times the legal limit after mounting a median strip and crashing into a sign. It happened just before 7 last night on the Salisbury Highway near the intersection with Kings Road. The driver returned a blood alcohol reading of 0.218. The 41-year-old from Salisbury has lost his licence for 12 months. A new report shows higher transport costs are hitting regional parts of the country the hardest. Hugh Phillips reports.
Analysis by the Australian Automobile Association revealed the average transport cost to income ratio across capital cities fell. However, regional centres saw an increase of 0.3%. In the 9 years since the motoring body began its affordability index, this quarter was the first time regional prices exceeded their capital city counterparts. It's believed the difference is due to public transport subsidies, suppressing costs in capital cities.
A new survey shows South Australians are turning to public transport and walking amid soaring fuel prices. The RAA says 33% of drivers have cut back on non-essential car travel like social outings. 31% have combined trips or errands to reduce driving, 8% have changed their route to reduce distance, and 22% of those surveyed say they're now walking more than before. A new opinion poll shows a majority of voters are worried about Labor's handling of immigration policy. 54% of people surveyed by Resolve believe the Albanese government is running the issue in an unplanned and unmanaged way. Despite this, core support for Labor remains steady at 28%, followed by One Nation and then the Coalition. The opposition's Ted O'Brien says he believes it shows the Coalition is on the right track.
Seeing the policies now from the Coalition come out and they speak to our values, and especially when it comes to migration, we know we need fewer people coming in, we need higher standards, and we need to ensure we're capping migration levels to new builds.
At least 7 people have been killed in Ukrainian strikes on Russia. Russian officials are describing the strikes as the largest scale attack launched by Kiev this year. More than 800 drones are understood to have been used in the strikes. And Magda Szubanski has made her first public appearance since her battle with cancer in a surprise appearance at the Logies. The iconic Australian comedian receiving a standing ovation from the crowd as she appeared in character as Sharon Strzelecki.
I'm not crying, I've just got something in my eye.
Are you okay, first day at Australia Zoo. How'd it go?
Yeah, no, good.
Yep.
Sam Pang took home the Gold Logie for most popular personality. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom.
Thank you, Jess. The top 10 is set with 1 round remaining in the AFL. Eddie Summerfield reports.
Carlton locked in its finals place with a draw against the Western Bulldogs to secure 10th spot. Blues forward Ben Ainsworth telling 3AW football players weren't aware until late a draw would be enough.
I don't think there was even a message. They sort of just whacked up a sign and, yeah, it was still pretty uncertain, to be honest.
With most top 10 clubs just about locked into their position, the resting and management of players is in the spotlight. Marcus Bontempelli, no guarantees to play next week as he manages an Achilles injury. Dogs coach Luke Beveridge.
If it's still hanging around and we feel like another week will really help him, we'll probably rest him.
Meantime, mixed results for the two SA women's sides over the weekend. Port having a 19-point win against Fremantle, but the Crows lost to Sydney at home at Unley Oval. Well, Australian selectors will have a look at Australia's batting order in the lead-up to the second test against Bangladesh in Mackay after a shock 9-wicket loss in Darwin. American Scotty Scheffler looks set for a big win at a PGA event in Memphis. He's currently leading by 8 shots. The Kookaburras have opened their campaign at the Hockey World Cup with a 3-1 victory over Ireland. And in some soccer to finish, Arsenal has defeated Manchester City 3-0 to win the Community Shield. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Parracombe, Rockslide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague roads today. Modbury 2-car collision, North East Road at Smart Road. Starting to get busy this morning, South Road through Edwardstown and Glandore. Slow going Brighton Road at Glenelg East with a camera, McGill Road, McGill. Spend more to get more across the full range of Milwaukee products. Hurry, Milwaukee Tool Rush starts Thursday for 3 days only. Head into your nearest participating authorised retailer to learn more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Sydney Street, timeless fashion on Unley Road, and now on the Parade Norwood, across the road from Bongiorno's.
18 with a shower or two today, 18 with showers increasing tomorrow, showers easing, and 18 for Wednesday, partly cloudy, and 17 for Thursday. Right now it's 15 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
7:08. Good morning to you if you're joining us for the very first time on this Monday, the 17th of August. Tim Ginniver very shortly will wrap the weekend in footy and sport, the cricket too. We'll throw it in there, despite the fact that it's probably the most depressing sports story in Australia at the moment. Crikey, you think your football team's going badly. Also, coming up after 7:30 today, Toop and Toop, we're going to talk about a delay for the implementation of the new Sea Link ferries after 8 o'clock that has some concern on the island about what it's going to mean for not just the disruption of people living there, but livestock, for the operation of the commercial industries on the island as well. So we're going to get into all of that. But right now, we have Royal Show tickets to give away.
Oh, everyone loves this. The phone lines, I think we nearly broke the phone lines last week.
They are genuinely, and we were talking about rites of passage in South Australia before the break. It is, I think, the most popular tickets we give away alongside AFL Grand Final tickets, and the value differential between the two is significant, but the interest in the Royal Show tickets is unbelievable. It's 19 days away, by the way.
Oh, my gosh.
19 days, 1 hour and 51 minutes until the Royal Show.
Is that your own personal countdown?
No, they've got a countdown on there. Yeah, that's right. It's just what I've got on my phone.
You created your own countdown.
You can go to, if you are interested in the second-by-second countdown, you can go to the Royal Show website, and they have the gates open countdown, September 5 to 13. Theshow.com.au, Drake Supermarkets. Save $10 off your family midweek show ticket until August 18. So you've got till tomorrow. If you buy a midweek ticket, you can save $10. Only available at Drake's Supermarkets. The Royal Show tickets this morning. We wanted to turn your mind to coincidences. Coincidences you've spotted, coincidences in your own life. Just odd explained phenomena, like 2 draws in one weekend.
The story continues, and what a magnificent story it is. 2 draws in the one round, Matty.
The crowd be aware of it. With the crowd no goes, the draw's okay. The Coles.
It's going to be, for the first time in almost 50 years, 2 draws in a round, and it's the most magnificent draw for Carlton. They're in the wild card.
Look at Sam Walsh. He's saying to Jagger Smith, yes, that'll do. We'll take the 2 points.
Crazy game. Don't you love footy?
So, courtesy of Fox, that was Bulldogs Carlton, the second of the draws, but that's not where the coincidences end, because the first of the draws, try to follow me here, was the second draw between those two sides this year, Hawthorn and Collingwood.
On the siren. It's no score. It's a draw at the MCG. No score. It is a draw.
And remarkably, that's not where the coincidences end, because in both of those draws, the ball was in the hands of Dylan Moore from the Hawks. not the old. The coverage of that final kick wasn't great because you couldn't see where the ball went over the line, but the call was superb and the result was remarkable. So 2 draws, and including one of them between 2 sides for the second time this year. Tell us your coincidences and we'll give you a Royal Show pass, a family pass to the Royal Show, 8223 0000.
I love this. We've all had something like that where you think, well, that's a huge coincidence.
Yes.
Maybe this isn't a coincidence, but my sister was born on my mum's birthday, so they share a birthday.
Do you want to hear a coincidence?
Go.
My sister was born on my mum's birthday.
Really?
Absolutely. It's coming up in 10 days' time.
Coincidence inception now.
You now people at home may be labouring under the perception that we prepared that.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coincidences.
Our poor mums.
We need an X-Files theme. 8223 0000. If you've got a coincidence for us, we might have a Royal Show pass for you. We'll certainly be giving it away in the next 15 minutes to someone, so call in now. 8223 0000 is the number. In the meantime, I wanted to turn our attention to the discussion about superannuation that's been reignited by Pauline Hanson, who's made some comments over the weekend. Have a listen.
A lot of Australians are doing it tough now and struggling to pay off their mortgages. In some ways, I feel that you should give them their money now and let them help them with the cost of living. It is their money. They've sacrificed it in lieu of pay. Under One Nation, we brought out the policy that you could use the superannuation to put a deposit on your own home loan.
So this is discussion about that I think happens among the general public more often than happens in politics. And one thing I do like about One Nation's, the surge in popularity they have now is that they are unshackled by historic political debate. They're not bound by their old positions. So we get to have these kind of debates anew about is super playing its role, because we don't have a party that says, well, we used to stand for this and then we stood there. They can just say, well, you know what, is it doing what it's meant to do? So we can all have that discussion. I think it'd be a really interesting one to have. Let us know your thoughts, folks. Maybe you can text them through on 0480 08 1395 about superannuation and whether you should be able to dip into it in times of need. Misha Schubert is from the Super Members Council of Australia and joins us now. Misha, good morning to you.
Great to be with you. Thanks for the opportunity.
What do you think? Should super be sacrosanct and untouchable?
It really has a very important job. So, yes, one of the things that we've done in Australia across the last 30 years is create a system that is literally the envy of the world. And the reason why it's the envy of the world is because it works in a couple of ways. Firstly, it's universal, so it's meant to cover the entirety of the workforce in our country. Secondly, it's compulsory, so it's requirements that your employer pays super on your behalf through the course of your working life. And the third really important part of that is that it's preserved for your retirement. So it's got that really important clear job reflected in the law that it's about having that money invested through the course of your working life. That lets it generate really compounding investment returns. So it can do its one job, which is to be your paycheck in retirement, hopefully for decades of a long and healthy retirement. And so it's really important that those strong safeguards that sit around every Australian super, for 17 million people now who have super, are always strongly kept in place. So that people can actually have the benefit of that retirement nest egg, their income in retirement. When we talk to the Australian community, we do quite a bit of research to understand how Australians feel about their super. Spoiler alert, Aussies really love their super. They're very grateful that those compulsory settings and those really important rules around super have enabled them to have much more money than they would ever have been able to save if we were all just sort of left to try to work out how we would fund a more dignified standard of living in retirement by ourselves.
Is there any data around how much better or worse off people are in retirement when they do access their super early? I remember during COVID, some people were allowed to access their super, and I think at one stage first home buyers could access their super to put a deposit down on a house. How does that impact them when they get to retirement?
Well, early withdrawal of super makes people poorer. That's the bottom line. And you're quite right. In COVID, there was a short period when the then government changed the rules to say that people could pull money out of super. Unfortunately, that was announced a couple of weeks before Australians knew that JobKeeper income payments were on their way, and so some Australians took money out during that period. When you look back at those, at the research from that period, it's a really instructive and cautionary tale, and it really underscores why policymakers today should not be contemplating going back to this. Australians who took 20 grand out during those COVID periods will stand to be 90 grand poorer by retirement, because they will have lost not just the money they took out, the face dollar value at the time, but you lose the compounding interest returns inside your super, which is the real way that super grows all of our nest eggs faster than just, it's not the money just going in from your employer each month or week or year. It's how it then is invested, and then each year it earns compound returns, and then they add to your total pot of super, and that grows and grows, and it snowballs through your life. So people will be dramatically poorer if they then are in a circumstance where they've taken that money out.
One of the things Pauline Hanson said, and I want to get your thoughts on this, is that the idea was, if you go back to the early 90s, if you go back to the initial push for compulsory superannuation, the idea was, and everyone remembers those sort of demographic time bomb data points that came out about, the baby boomers are going to retire and there won't be enough people working to sustain them and we can't pay the pension. Super's going to be a huge component of that. And she makes the point that people are pulling out their superannuation, spending it, and then they end up on the age pension anyway. That was her observation. And certainly if you go to those how much money do I need in retirement websites, it will say, well, you need X amount because at this point, if it runs out, you can start getting the age pension and that'll balance out over the course of time. Does she have a point about people, the idea being that people wouldn't need the pension and yet it actually now being just sort of baked into their retirement plan?
Well, it's really important to be always guided by the facts here. And in fact, the evidence shows us that for the vast majority of people who are currently retired and who are and those who are approaching retirement in the next decade, when you look at the system as a whole, what it's done is mean that many more people now are not reliant just on the single rate full age pension alone. If you have to survive just on the age pension in retirement, that's worth. That basically pays around 30 grand a year. That's not a lot of money to be able to live on. And so what Super's done is now transform today's retirees' incomes. So the actual evidence and the facts are that Super has been an incredible success in taking pressure off the age pension. You've got a significant number of Australians now who are self-funded retirees thanks to Super, and many more. Those numbers will continue to grow into the future. There are some really important and very rare provisions in the current Super landscape under very limited circumstances that enable people who are experiencing very extreme financial hardship or compassionate circumstances, such as when you maybe are diagnosed with a terminal illness, to be able to access early in those rare circumstances. But strong safeguards that sit around them are designed for a reason. It's to try to help you preserve that money to do its really important job, to be your paycheck in retirement. So very important always to be really guided by the evidence and the facts here to understand that Super is taking active pressure off the age pension. That's really important for every taxpayer. And Australians get it. Again, when we do that research in the community, Australians understand that, you get a pretty healthy tax break because that money is invested inside our super. And that's a thank you from the government and from taxpayers in the broad, saying, well, because that money's being preserved and invested to be your retirement income, that's why that tax preferred status sits around your super as well. So it's a really successful system. Every policymaker in our country shares that sacred duty to keep this system strong and performing for Australians. And if you do have if you think through the importance of that principle, it's really important to have Australians have that super, because otherwise, if you unwind that system, what it will mean is that those people who have taken money out are poorer. but also it means that every single taxpayer, all of your listeners listening today, will pick up a tax bill then to fund higher rates of the age pension.
All right. Good stuff, Misha. Thank you. Misha Schubert, the CEO of the Super Members Council. We are getting a lot of texts through on this that we will get to perhaps after 7:30 on 0480081395. But first, let's give away some Royal Show tickets, shall we? With our coincidences. 2 draws over the weekend, 1 involving the same team for the second time this year. Linda and Heathfield, what's your coincidence?
Oh, good morning. I'm not a try-hard Elvis Presley fan, but I've only just realised that he died on the same day and month as my mum's birthday yesterday. So it's only just dawned on me.
Was she a big fan?
I don't really know. I don't think she ever mentioned it. No, but
All right.
yeah.
Oh, go on, Linda. Thank you. Let's go to Penny and Nord. You got a coincidence for us, Penny?
Hi, guys. I'm an identical twin. I was in hospital. My twin sister was at home. We both gave up sucking our thumb on the same day.
Oh, really? That's excellent.
Twins.
Yeah.
You can teach my
Twins,
daughter how to
exactly.
stop sucking her thumb next, Penny. That'd be excellent. Maybe because she doesn't have a twin. Jeff in Fairview Park, good morning.
Good morning. My coincidence is not only was my sister and mother born on the same day, but my wife and daughter were born on the same day.
No.
Oh, what?
That is. Well, you know what, Jeff? Well played, because it makes it much easier to remember then, doesn't it?
He's only got 2 birthdays to remember.
Jeff, that was remarkable. Thank you. Eve, good morning.
Hello. How did you know it was me, Will?
You know how radio works. Come on, you've been in the studio. You know you can't win tickets, Mum.
Is this Eve Gooding?
Yeah, you can't win tickets. You know how this works.
It's a really good coincidence. Hold on, I'm just going through a traffic light. When you were born, Will, I was in the Calvary, and you were born, and I shared a ensuite with the other lady. She had her little boy, and she was from Peterborough, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, 18 years later, and I don't know if you remember this, Will, we were at the Thai Orchid, and on the other table was the lady from Peterborough with her family and her son, and they had just come down to Adelaide for the weekend. We're walking past the Thai Orchid and said, gee, that looks like a good restaurant. And they came in and you two met.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that's a good coincidence. You know what's not a coincidence is that a Goodings being at the Thai Orchid. That's not. That's we're there more often than being at home.
Second home.
Yeah.
We should have shares.
Oh, that would be good.
If they're listening, you've got a sponsorship deal here.
Great call, Mum. You can't win the tickets, sorry.
All right, thanks, Phil. Thanks, Stacey. Have a good day.
Thanks, Eve.
Thank you.
That's great. I think that's harsh. I reckon she should be in the running.
Okay, well, you can explain it to ACMA. Louisa, good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good, Louisa.
There's some amazing coincidences there, aren't there, coming through. My coincidence is that my mum and her baby sister were born 7 years and 3 months to the very day apart, and my sister and myself were born 7 years and 3 months to the day apart.
Oh.
So it's not that fantastic, but hey, it's one of the coincidences in life.
Yeah,
that is. That's certainly a coincidence, Louisa. You're eligible for the tickets. Last one is Shandell. Good morning.
Good morning, Will and Stacey. I have 3 boys. My first boy was unfortunately stillborn. However, my following son was born 12 months later to the same date.
Oh, wow.
And then my second son, Carter, was born 2 years after that on the same date.
My goodness.
All conceived completely different times, yet the second 2 came early.
Well, there you go, Shandell.
Yes.
You're like clockwork. Unbelievable. That's remarkable.
Yeah, and a nice way to change the meaning of a date as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, well said. All right, who gets the tickets?
Oh, it has to be Shandell.
All right, Shandell, you're off to the Royal Show. Congratulations to you. You've got the tickets thanks to the excellent Royal Show tickets you can get at theshow.com.au and Drake's Supermarkets. Remember, if you get in by tomorrow, yes, today's the 17th, tomorrow's the 18th, you can get $10 off your family midweek show ticket.
Morning there at Modbury. Two-car collision to look out for this morning. North East Road at Smart Road. At Paracoma, Rockslide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague roads this morning. Really sluggish main North Road at Enfield heading to the city. Quite busy. The Port of Expressway heading into Port Adelaide. And a speed camera Osmond Terrace at Norwood. Jack's Tyres and Auto have huge drive-away deals this August on selected premium brands. Search Jack's Tyres today to find out more. Jack's Tyres and Auto, peace of mind driving. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
Well, the student rally against Pauline Hanson took place yesterday afternoon. Students protested against the rise of Pauline Hanson and her One Nation Party. Chants including F Pauline, trans rights are human rights, and Pauline Hanson go to hell.
Graham Goodings.
When asked for his comment, the Premier, Peter Malinowska, said that young people being interested in politics was a good thing, but ideally they should be at school. I agree.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. If you've had solar on your roof for 10 years, you would understand the big feed-in tariffs have pretty much disappeared. That's why NRG Solar will tell you the best way forward is to combine your existing or new solar system with battery storage. Storing the excess energy your solar makes during the day to use it at night is a game changer. NRG Solar helps you upgrade smarter with solutions designed to target zero power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
50 scorching summers, 50 freezing winters, and only one Morford Air helped us through it all. Adelaide's own homegrown family air conditioning company, Morford Air, has kept South Australians cool and warm for over 50 years. That's half a century of comfort. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford Air. For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. walco.com.au.
You don't always need a big backyard to make your home feel bigger. Sometimes you just need someone to look at the space properly. Like the team at Big Difference Home Improvements. They can have a look at the space you already have. It could be an existing veranda, a pergola area, carport, or a small backyard. And then they'll show you what's possible.
Outdoor blinds, enclosed spaces, play areas for the kids or grandkids, footy spots, somewhere to barbecue or somewhere to escape. No shed, no spare room, no garage space. Well, no worries. You'll be surprised by what Big D can do. Big Difference Home Improvements will take care of all the council stuff too.
So don't just make a difference, make a big difference. Visit bigdifference.com.au or pop into their showroom on West Lakes Boulevard.
When you're gone, who gets the things you've worked hard all your life for? Like the family farm, the holiday home, or your cherished trailer sailor. If you don't plan now, it could be messy when you're gone. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. When it comes to power bills, NRG Solar understands that South Australian businesses are feeling the pinch too. The Cheaper Home Battery program isn't just for homeowners. Eligible businesses can access those savings as well. NRG Solar takes a consultative approach with commercial customers, starting with how your business uses power, then designing a solar and battery solution that makes financial sense. Talk to NRG Solar and see what a solar and battery solution can do for your business. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Ginnivan.
Tim Ginnivan on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G on a Monday morning. It's nice to get to chat with you after all the footy and the cricket and everything that's happened, Tim, because you've got the full slate of things to comment on. What's top of the pops for you out of the weekend for sport that was?
Yeah, might be nice for you, mate, but I'll tell you what a stinker of a weekend. I'll tell you.
No, it wasn't great for anyone, was it?
No, dear, oh dear. Well, firstly, Friday night, I thought Adelaide Crows had a real crack. And they really wanted to sort of match the speed and the pace of FIVEAA and the like. I just think that last quarter just got probably the depth of FIVEAA's talent just got on top. So it's an interesting one. We'll break it down tonight. Campo's on with me, of course. He loves doing that. But I just reckon there was some moments in time, and I think the way they move the ball, FIVEAA, is so impressive, and their key forwards are just so damaging. So they're definitely one to look at for the finals. But for Adelaide, it puts them in precarious position of perhaps getting into that wild card round, which would not have been the priority, that's for sure. So got to make sure they beat GWS, and for Port, they got an absolute hiding there. So and then cricket. What a big slap on the face that was. They got 21 tests in the next 12 months, and they haven't started the campaign well by losing to Bangladesh for the first time ever on Australian soil. So that's a real big slap as we go forward. So I tell you what, no coincidence that nobody's happy about any of this, without a doubt. That's a big coincidence indeed. But I've got a little one for you. My mother, who had 10 children, 4 boys in a row were born on the 13th.
Different months, but on the 13th.
Different months, but the 13th.
Are you one of them, Tim?
I am one of them. I'm the last one. As my brother says, the last of the boys and the first of the girls. So, yeah.
Gee, your family must, the 13th of every month, get a pang of, hang on, is it someone's birthday today?
It's got to be somebody's birthday. And then if you're into numerology, well, one of them's born on the 31st, so it gets real confusing.
Wow.
Anyone on a Friday the 13th?
Good question. I was a Wednesday, so I can't claim that. But maybe one of them was. But they're all spooky. Don't worry.
Good on you, Timmy.
I love your work.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
18 with a shower or two today with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Keep your body in shape with Physio Extra clinical Pilates and group exercise classes. PhysioExtra.com.
A 17-year-old boy and 2 men in their 20s will face court later today, charged over a violent robbery in the city last night. 3 teenage victims reported the incident at 11 p.m, telling police they were threatened with a knife and a hammer near Miller's Arcade. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes has told Will and Stacey the trio was located a short time later.
And police searched the area and located a group of suspects matching the description given in Gooja Street. So a 17-year-old boy, a 20-year-old man and a 21-year-old man were arrested.
It's alleged they were carrying the victim's stolen property, including bags, a jacket and a phone. A man who crashed his car at Salisbury Downs last night has blown more than 4 times over the legal limit. Police say the 41-year-old from Salisbury mounted a median strip and collided with a sign on the Salisbury Highway near Kings Road. He blew .218, was issued with a 12-month loss of licence, and his Mitsubishi sedan was towed from the scene. A fresh opinion poll shows more than 50% of voters believe the Albanese government is failing to address high levels of immigration in Australia. Federal Politics editor Michael Packey reports.
Labor is under increasing pressure to address immigration policy. The latest Resolve Political Monitor reveals 54% of voters believe the government is running the portfolio in an unmanaged way. Labor is due to announce some changes over the coming weeks, including a crackdown on people who overstay their visa and tighter rules for those seeking asylum in Australia. While immigration is a problem for the Albanese government, voters have welcomed tax changes which are lowering property prices. Overall, core support for Labor, One Nation and the Coalition remains steady.
A new study has found AI detection software used in schools and universities is failing to protect academic integrity. James Cook University researchers warn, unlike plagiarism tools, the detectors only guessed the likelihood text was AI generated. Project lead Wayne Bradshaw says the software poses a risk in the education sector.
But in terms of assessing whether a student has used AI in the production of assessment, it's really got no place.
Victoria will today start rolling out the world's biggest bird flu vaccination program. 5,000 little penguins will be vaccinated at Phillip Island after one died from the H5 strain. It's set to be 10 times the scale of any other vaccination program for wild birds. And Australians who've recently turned 50 will soon receive a letter with advice on lowering the risk of dementia. The disease is the country's leading cause of death, with almost 460,000 people thought to be living with it. Minister for Aged Care and Seniors Sam Ray says nearly half of all cases can be either delayed or prevented.
The Australian government is running a campaign to help Aussies think about their brain health. We're going to be sending out letters to roughly 340,000 people who turned 50 over the last year with some information about how they can address some of those risk factors.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom.
Thank you, Jess. The top 10 has been locked in for the AFL after Carlton and the Bulldogs played out a thrilling draw yesterday. It's a result that will likely see the Blues finish in 10th spot and play against Adelaide in the wildcard round. The Crows slipped to 7th following the weekend's results. There were two other games yesterday with GWS belting West Coast by 9 goals, while Sydney cruised to a 36-point win against Essendon in the late game. Port Adelaide, meantime, is stuck in 15th spot after their loss to Melbourne on Saturday night. Well, the Aussie cricket team will recover today following yesterday's disastrous 9-wicket loss to Bangladesh. There is still one more test match to come. That's going to be played in Mackay. To golf, American Scotty Scheffler has recorded a stunning 8-shot win to take out a PGA event in Memphis. Starting the day with a 2-shot lead, Scheffler shot a 4-under round of 66 to finish at 17 under. A par on the last, getting it done.
And so Scotty Scheffler with a closing par makes his mark in Memphis.
Audio there thanks to Fox. South Korea's Siwoo Kim was second, while Adam Scott was the best of the Aussies. He finished 12 shots back. That was in a tie for 12th. Let's go to soccer. Defending EPL champions Arsenal have sent an ominous warning to the rest of the league on the eve of the season after thumping Manchester City 3-0 in the Community Shield. The Gunners led 2-0 at half-time and sealed the result just after the break.
Nudegaard seizing upon it! Clear daylight for the champions in every sense here.
They look very good. That audio thanks to Stan Sport. Jess, that is the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Parracoma Rockslide has closed a section of Gorge Road. Detours via the Corkscrew and Montague Roads today. 2-car smash look out for Modbury, North East Road near Smart Road. We're getting busy at the moment. Fullerton Road driving in just near Glen Osmond Road and getting slow. Porter Expressway heading into Port Adelaide. Early morning camera today at Rundle Streets at Kent Town. You can now book an RAA approved repairer online. Just head to the RAA website to find your local repairer. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Sydney Street, timeless fashion on Unley Road and now on the Parade Norwood. Across the road from Bongiorno's.
18 with a shower or two today, 18 with showers increasing tomorrow, showers easing and 18 for Wednesday. Partly cloudy and 17 for Thursday. Right now it's 15 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
Had a whoopsie, a bingle or a big kaboom?
Pro Paint and Panel can organise towing, manage the insurance paperwork and repair your car to a high standard.
So remember the 3 Ps. Pro Paint and Panel, South Road, Hindmarsh.
What if I told you it's easy to create your new kitchen or laundry project? Well, say hello to Cabinet. Custom cabinetry made easy. From supply only to full installation, the team at Cabinet can provide a quote with a 3D design of your project within 24 hours. And for a limited time, you pay what the tradies pay. So order and install now and host this Christmas at your place. Visit the Maylands Design Studio today or head to cabnt.com.au. Conditions apply.
Agostino Mitsubishi demo clearance sale is on right now with loads of demo vehicles that must go. Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander, all reduced to clear. So why pay full price when you can drive away with a feature-packed demo model for less? plus 10-year roadside assistance, 10-year warranty and 10 years cap price servicing. Agostino Mitsubishi demo clearance sale is on now. Nailsworth and Morsa Lakes. Hurry, stock just won't last long.
South Australia is big, it's wild, and it's all closer than you think. This winter, get out and explore our own backyard with special seasonal rates from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide.
Matt runs the depot at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, and he is a dead set legend who is always ready to help out. And this winter, he's unlocked some special offers. You'll get special winter rates, next day booking, extra kilometres included, and insurance excess has been reduced.
Now, these winter rates apply to their four-wheel drives, vans, dual cab 4x4 utes with lockable canopies and roof racks, even the 12-seaters. Whether you're heading to the coast, wine regions, the Flinders, or a weekend interstate for the footy, Matt's got you covered with a vehicle for the adventure.
Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. Trust your mate Matt. Ask for the 5AA winter specials. Call 8241 5200 or jump online at avis.com.au.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lower energy bills with your energy saving solutions. Thanks to the SA Government's REPS initiative, eligible households can upgrade to an Emerald hot water heat pump system from just $1,999 fully installed. Emerald is Australia's #1 hot water heat pump brand. It's easy to say yes to Emerald with your energy saving solutions. For full terms and conditions, visit yess.net.au.
Your business has most likely been targeted by a cyber attack. You just don't know it yet. Often the future attack hides quietly in your system, watching, waiting, learning how your business works. That's how most attacks start. FX IT helps Australian businesses find threats early before they become crippling. Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
Eighteen minutes to 8. Big breaking date coming up after 8 o'clock this morning. Looking forward to that. We will also talk about the what I think we can now safely describe as the plight of the new ferries for Sealink at Kangaroo Island. We last week, if you recall, we were doing a story about the increase in flights the weekend that the changeover was happening. Well, the weekend the changeover is happening has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the flights won't go down.
Yeah, well, exactly. It would be interesting to check the Qantas website to see if now that the ferries will be in operation that weekend, will they put their flight prices down?
Yeah, that would be quite intriguing. But we will be chatting with the Kangaroo Island Mayor, Michael Pengelly, about how that's going to play out for Kangaroo Island residents, should I say, after 8 o'clock. One thing we want to do before we get to our next guest is chat with Tracy in Mawson Lakes, who texted us through a coincidence. But, Tracy, it was such a good story. We thought it to do it justice, we wanted to hear you tell our listeners. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us what happened to you, and how your mum's intuition has been instrumental in you being able to talk to us today.
Yeah, look, it was quite bizarre when I was 10 years old. Mum and Dad weren't together at that time, but I was due to go over to the Eyre Peninsula and visit my dad and my brother. And as it happened, my dad was like, send her over in the mail plane that his brother was going to be flying, so my uncle. And my mum was feeling really terrible about it. She was like, I just don't feel like this is right. I'm not going to send you in the plane. They kind of argued a little bit about it, but in the end, I ended up catching a commercial flight over, and very thankfully too, because my uncle actually crashed that mail plane in a paddock, and there was only a seat, one seat, single seat, and there wasn't really meant to be anybody in that mail plane anyway. And the plane was very wrecked, and had I been on that plane, it was very unlikely I would have survived.
Oh, wow.
So thanks to Mum's intuition, it actually saved my life.
That is incredible.
That's spooky, isn't it, Tracy? I bet you trusted her
Really?
intuition for the rest of your life, her life as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Was your uncle okay?
He survived, yeah, so he was fine, but had there been anyone else in the plane, yeah, they wouldn't have.
Oh, I bet you thought. I bet you've thought about that a lot over the course of your life.
Definitely, and like you said, I completely trust my mum's intuition because it served her well in many other situations as well. So, yeah, she's a very wonderful woman and I love her to death.
Oh, beautifully said, Tracy. That is very spooky, that story.
Isn't it?
And the great shame for Tracy is if she'd called through maybe 15 minutes ago, she probably would have won Royal Show tickets.
Sorry, Tracy.
Sorry, Tracy.
I mean, there aren't many mums' intuitions that you don't trust, but Tracy's in particular.
Yeah, if she said,
Wow.
if you bump into Tracy's mum and she says, where are you going on the train?
Maybe not.
I wouldn't. I'd cancel that ticket within 3 seconds.
Absolutely. Well, I think a lot of people who picked up the Sunday Mail yesterday morning would have been surprised by the front page story about gender-affirming surgeries taking place at the Royal Adelaide Hospital for a number of reasons. We spoke about this last week and we're told, this was one of our Breaking at 8s last week, and we're told that gender-affirming surgeries aren't taking place at public hospitals in South Australia. So we'll talk to the Health Minister about that soon, but it's been reported that a review has taken place. 22 children were given gender-reaffirming surgeries at the Women's and Children's Hospital without psychiatric assessment beforehand. So there's a lot of people who have raised eyebrows about this, who have concerns about this, including the Coalition of Advancing Scientific Care. And we've got the spokesperson on the phone this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What is your concern with this, I guess, revelation out of the Women's and Children's Hospital?
The concern we have is that the model of care that the South Australian public health system operates under, which takes place in the Women's and Children's Hospital when we're dealing with minors in South Australia in the public system, is a model of care that the practitioners in that clinic didn't follow. That's what the Brad Crouch story reveals. And that there has been a review that has been conducted into the 22 cases where the psychiatric assessment wasn't carried out. And the government hasn't released that review. And the reason it's given for not releasing the review is that it might reveal the identity of the patients, and we don't accept that as a genuine reason because those patients can be de-identified. Nobody wants to know who the patients are, but what the public wants to know, what parents want to know, what doctors and clinicians want to know, what psychotherapists and psychiatrists who are working in this field want to know is what the review says about what went on in those 22 cases and whether that failure has been addressed and whether in future these matters or this gap or this failure won't be repeated. And we want to see the report published for the public to see with the patients' names de-identified.
Now, tell us about the Coalition of Advancing Scientific Care. Is this I guess, one of your priorities? Are you agnostic to gender-affirming surgeries, or are you pro, anti? What's your stance on it?
The Coalition of Advancing Scientific Care is an Australian group of doctors, lawyers and parents and educators and other interested groups who have examined critically gender-affirming care. Now, gender-affirming care is a model of care that is in question around the world and has been clawed back or undone or pulled back in a number of other jurisdictions, in particular in the UK and Scandinavian countries that had rocketed ahead and were engaging in affirmation therapy, which led to surgeries and hormonal treatments that were irreversible for minors in those countries.
And so
we'll be holding.
Anti?
Yes, we don't accept that there is an adequate evidence base for gender-affirming care for minors. The long-term impact of puberty blockers that are administered in the South Australian health system, there is no clinical study that can establish that they are safe. And we know that the high majority of children who start on puberty blockers will eventually go on to cross-sex hormones. So for a girl who's 14 or 15 or 16, that will mean she'll begin on testosterone, and a massive transition of irreversible changes will happen for that girl. and then a number of them will then go on to surgeries. And so we're holding a national conference in Adelaide on the 9th and 10th of October, where we'll have international and national experts who will come and examine critically the gender-affirming care model from an evidence-based perspective.
Okay.
And some of these are the leading thinkers on this in the world. We have a website which is casc.ltd, so casc.ltd. And this is the second conference of its kind. The first one was held last year.
All right. Well, thanks for your time this morning. As I said, we will be talking to the Health Minister after breaking at 8, so after 8 o'clock, and we'll talk to him about this report and see, why is the government not releasing it? And, obviously that group there has a particular stance on this issue, and people's views on it differ. But if there's a procedure in place as to when these surgeries can take place, we'll ask why that procedure wasn't followed.
Yeah, that is quite curious. So the answer's coming up after 8 o'clock. We'll check traffic now and come back with the excellent Toop and Toop in just a moment.
Morning there at Paracoma. Rockslide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague roads this morning. 2 cars smashed. Look out for it in Modbury. North East Road near Smart Road, but have a quick look at the map. There's no great delays there, so that's a good thing. We are getting a little busy at Penfield, Wamma Road near Argent Road, and a little slow Brighton Road, Glenelg East just near Jetty Road. Early morning camera, Salisbury Highway, Dry Creek. Do you believe that happiness matters to seriously ill children? Sign up to Starlight to make a monthly donation and bring happiness when it's needed most. Starlight.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Every bathroom comes with a dark side. Mould. It sneaks into grout. But what if it had nothing to sneak into? What if you chose Mr. Wet Wool instead of tiles for your bathroom and wet areas? It costs less and there's no scrubbing grout. Because with Mr. Wet Wool, there is no grout. Just a smooth, stylish surface, easy to clean and stunning to look at. So why wouldn't you, Mr. Wet Wool? MrWetWool.com.
If you're after legendary reliability and safety, get a Toyota forklift. Yep, Toyota is still the world's #1 forklift brand, famous across just about every industry for their reliability and safety. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage. And with great electric options and branches all over the country, find the right Toyota forklift for you at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Now, how good would this be? Waking every morning to uninterrupted views across Adelaide's treasured parklands. Watching the city skyline come alive from your own private balcony, views protected forever. Welcome to a Royal Apartments by Pullenbow.
Crafted by one of South Australia's most respected developers, Royal Apartments offers a rare opportunity to own a luxurious 1, 2 or 3 bedroom residence or a penthouse in prestigious Kent Town.
These sound amazing. At Royal Apartments, city vibrance meets fringe tranquility with the parklands in front of you, and the East End is just moments away. A home where the outlook, the location and the lifestyle come together beautifully every single day.
And the finishes on these apartments are world class. Experience the Royal Apartments display apartment on 2 North Terrace, Kent Town, or visit royalapartments.com.au.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Since 1985, we've been helping Adelaide Hills locals achieve exceptional property results. Now we're proud to again have a place to call home in the hills. Our new office at 50 Mount Barker Road, Stirling, means our trusted advice, strategic expertise and personalised service are now even closer to the Adelaide Hills community. Whether you're buying, selling or simply looking for property advice, we're here to help. Visit us at Mount Barker Road, Stirling, or learn more at toop.com.au.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job, completewindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Tiles and grout, they're an open invitation for mould. You can scrub and seal it, but it'll be back. Installing Mr. Wet Wall is a smarter option, and you can lay it over existing tiles. Mr. Wet Wall beats the look and maintenance of tiles hands down. No grout, no mould, and completely waterproof. Mr. Wet Wall takes half the time to install. It means your costs are kept down. So why wouldn't you, Mr. Wet Wall? Take a look at mrwetwall.com.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
5 to 8. Scott from Modbury's got a really good coincidence for us. He bowled a perfect game. We were speaking about Woodford Bowl earlier in terms of rites of passage. He bowled a perfect game, which is 300. And he did that on a certain day of the year. 28 years later, to the day, he got a hole in one.
Really? I love that he knows the dates.
Well, you would.
Would you?
Yeah, I reckon you would. Not too many people have done one of those things, let alone both of those things. Now, he's asked ChatGPT to do the maths on how likely any of this was.
Did you fact check it?
I haven't, but the numbers sound so impressive, I'm willing to go with it. Scott says the 300 game and a hole in one is 1 in 143 million chance for you to have done both.
Oh, right.
For them to happen on the same day, 28 years apart, according to the AI's a calculation, that is a 1 in 52.5 billion chance. So even if there were, another 10 Earths or 8 Earths, it's unlikely that anyone else will have ever done what Scott from Modbury did. So statistically, that's a pretty good coincidence, Scott, and you've made your case very well. Talking coincidence, of course, this morning after the 2 draws on the weekend, and one of them featuring two teams that are drawn together for the second time this year. So a lot of fun with coincidences this hour. Let's talk property. Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop joins us on 5AA Breakfast each and every Monday morning. Bronte, the state government are touting the success of their stamp duty cuts for first home buyers. We thought probably an opportune moment to talk about whether, this is the whole reason the federal government made their changes, was to make the property market easier for first home buyers to get into. What your views are on that segment of the marketplace, the kinds of properties that first home buyers are looking at, and whether there's been any movement there or any sort of more ease of movement for them. How have you seen it?
Yeah, so guys, I can't say that there's been a specific uptick of first home buyers, proportionately per property that we're selling. However, what I can say is the market at the moment is definitely more predictable, right? So I would say that for people that have got money, they're ready to go, they can do it. I think, the times to buy now for them are more predictable and easier than they were, let's just call it 6 to 9 months ago. And not because the market's gone backwards, because it hasn't. It's just the fact that it's not going up by, 10% every sort of 6 to 9 months, and they're getting left behind. So if you've got money ready to go as a first home buyer, it is a much better place to be. I would then probably say the other side of that is if you're not ready to go and you're saving, I would think what's happened federally is going to make your life a lot harder, because rents are starting to run now because there's less investors entering the market.
You're seeing rents go up in Adelaide specifically. That's interesting.
Rents are going up across the board, and they're absolutely going nuts in Melbourne. So that's why I'll go out on a limb here, but I would think there'll be a reversal. There just has to be, just like every other time it's happened here and in New Zealand. So I think if you've got money good to go, yes, I think the environment is definitely better for you. If you don't have money good to go and you're still saving, I think it's going to be harder for you to save than it's ever been before.
Right. Yeah, see, that's interesting, isn't it? So there'll be some first home buyers right now benefiting, but in a few years' time, people trying to get into the market will be having a harder time. I wonder if the government will feel the pressure then or if they'll feel the pressure now.
But I think if we were to segment it, at a state level, I think the government, we're very, very fortunate here in South Australia, are doing everything they possibly can to get new houses built, and I think locally, I don't think we could, I don't think Mally and the team could do anything more than what they're doing. I think that they're doing a phenomenal job in creating new housing, and actually there's developers from Australia moving and wanting to build property in South Australia, whereas a lot of developers have packed up shop in the other states. So I think state government doing a great job federally, I think are working against the flow on it.
All right. Interesting as always, Bronte. Really appreciate it. Bronte Emanuel, the owner and Director of Sales at Toop and Toop.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
18 with a shower or two today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Keep your body in shape with Physio Extra clinical Pilates and group exercise classes. PhysioExtra.com.
A man's been arrested and charged with dangerous driving after a near miss at an RBT station. Police were conducting drug and alcohol tests on A-Lifts Road at St Mary's on Friday night when a Mercedes SUV was directed into the site. It's alleged the driver accelerated away during a breath test, almost colliding with an officer and several cars. Police attended a Flagstaff Hill home last night, arresting the 42-year-old driver. His car's been impounded and he'll face court next month. The number of first home buyers in South Australia is growing faster than any other state. Housing Minister Nick Champion says we're the only mainland state to record an increase.
Look, what we see is that lending to first-home buyers is growing strongly, up 20% in the March quarter and up 23% over the year earlier. So what we're seeing is really strong lending to first-home buyers, which is a great outcome because we want to see first-home buyers in the market for their first home.
A new RAA survey shows South Australians are leaving the car at home and choosing to walk or catch public transport as fuel prices surge. The study found almost half of us have changed how often we travel, with 33% cutting back on non-essential travel like social outings. 22% of South Australians say they're now walking more than before. 15% say they've increased public transport use, and 6% say they're cycling more. One Nation MP Barnaby Joyce is taking aim at violence and threats targeting the minor party. He says a One Nation staffer was left with a broken rib after being assaulted by a group of teenagers at Brisbane's Ekka. The former Nationals leader says some of the behaviour at last week's anti-One Nation protest was also concerning.
Chance the other day they wanted to murder Pauline Hanson, murder her, this is the alternative. The one thing about One Nation is it says things and it stands up for things. So the people who don't want us to stand up for things hate us.
A new opinion poll shows voters are worried about Labor's handling of immigration policy. 54% of people surveyed by Resolve believe the Albanese government is struggling to address the issue. Despite this, core support for Labor remains steady at 28%, followed by One Nation and then the Coalition. Russia says it's been hit with the largest Ukrainian drone attacks so far this year. Europe correspondent Josh Bavis reports.
It's been a destructive 24 hours across both Russia and Ukraine. On the southern side of Moscow, a Wildberries warehouse has been destroyed in a Ukrainian drone attack. Russian authorities say the wave of strikes is the largest attack in months, stating 7 people have been killed and dozens more injured. They claim to have shot down at least 800 incoming drones. British media is reporting that the drones used in the attack include those made by 2 companies based in the UK. In Ukraine, 2 people were killed after a Russian strike on a steelworks, and several people were injured when a book market was hit.
Deborah Mailman's become the first Indigenous person to be inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Logies. Sam Pang took out the gold.
It's very, very easy for me to thank people. It's been very, very clear who's helped me along the way. I'm going to forget some names. If I do forget you, I'm sorry. Also, maybe have a think about how much you actually did.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. It is back to work for the Crows today following the disappointment of Friday night's loss against Fremantle in Perth. Adelaide will play against GWS on Saturday night at home as they look to finish the minor round on a high and keep their slim hopes of a top 6 finish alive. Port's players will have a light day. Their season will come to a close on Sunday when they take on Essendon at Marvel Stadium. The Power are set to welcome back defender Darcy Byrne-Jones after he missed last week through suspension. Interim coach Dean Solomon says he's hoping for a better crowd for Andrew McGrath's 200th game next weekend against the Power.
But it's really disappointing to see our crowds down. Like, this is Essendon Footy Club and the members and supporters have been through a lot, but this is where we dig in, we support each other and we stayed tight. We wade through the swamp together in the tough times, and then we all get to celebrate the good times ahead.
And there were 3 other games to wrap up round 23. Carlton and the Bulldogs played out a thrilling draw. GWS smashed West Coast by 54 points, while Sydney made sure Essendon remains anchored to the bottom of the ladder after they cruised to a 36-point win at Marvel Stadium. Meantime, Melbourne's considering appealing Jacob Van Rooyen's 3-match ban for a severe impact hit. That was on Aaliyah from Saturday night. Let's go to other sport. Australia's cricketers will recover today with selection very much on the agenda after the Aussies' disastrous 9-wicket loss against Bangladesh. The top orders under the most pressure, chiefly Jake Weatherald and Marnus Labuschagne, who both missed out in the opening test in both innings. The Kookaburras have opened their campaign at the Hockey World Cup with a 3-1 victory over Ireland. Arsenal has won the Community Shield after a clinical 3-0 win against Manchester City at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. And the world's best golfer, Scotty Scheffler, has absolutely crushed the field at the St Jude Championships. That's the first leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Scheffler finishing a whopping 8 shots clear of South Korea's Siwoo Kim. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there. A couple of bingos to look out for this morning. One at Virginia, Penfold Road at King Road. Modbury, 2 cars smashed there. Northeast Road at Smart Road causing delays. And in the hills at Parracombe Rock Sliders closed a section of Gorge Road. There were detours via the Corkscrew and Montague Roads this morning. Cameras McGill Road, McGill and Mount Barker Road at Leewood Gardens. ASICS is now open at Westfield Marion with the latest running gear, footy boots, sports and kids shoes. Plus huge savings at Harbour Town Adelaide. ASICS Marion and Harbour Town Adelaide now open. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Sydney Street, timeless fashion on Unley Road and now on the Parade Norwood. Across the road from Bongiorno's.
18 with a shower or 2 today, 18 with showers increasing tomorrow, showers easing and 18 for Wednesday, partly cloudy and 17 on Thursday. Right now it's 14 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Hi, Daniel Tarley here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply, we buy homes. We don't charge fees, there's no advertising costs or commissions, none of that. We just make the process of selling your home easy. So if you're looking to downsize and have a home built before the 90s, we'll be able to help you save time, money and the effort it takes to sell. Thinking of downsizing? Visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
At Specsavers Audiology, we know it's always been difficult to hear in busy places. Luckily, in this century, we've now got AI-powered hearing devices. Should have gone to, Savers. Visit specsavers.com.au to learn about our advanced AI hearing aids. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Somewhere on your roof, there's a solar system that was supposed to be saving your business money. The question is it still doing that? Solar systems degrade, inverters, they fail quietly, monitoring gets ignored, and the gap between what your system promised and what it's actually delivering can be quite significant and invisible unless someone has a look.
Well, NRG Solar offer performance assessments, repairs, upgrades and maintenance to commercial solar systems across South Australia. They work with businesses who inherited systems when they bought a premise, businesses whose savings have quietly shrunk, and businesses who simply haven't had their system looked at in years.
A commercial solar review costs you nothing compared to what a failing system is already costing you. Find out where you actually stand. The best thing you can do right now is visit nrgsolar.com.au and book a commercial solar review today.
What if I told you it's easy to create your new kitchen or laundry project? Well, say hello to Cabinet. Custom cabinetry made easy. From supply only to full installation, you'll see the latest colours, on-trend finishes and styles to bring your vision to life. And for a limited time, you pay what the tradies pay. So order and install now and host this Christmas at your place. Visit the Maylands Design Studio today or head to cabnt.com.au. Conditions apply.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
Take your passion and make it happen.
9 after 8. Good fight now. Texts at the moment on 0480 1395 from people who have different views on the state of the real estate picture when it applies to rents. Are they going up as a result of the federal government's changes at the budget, or is this just concern from vested interests in the real estate lobby and indeed the opposition and other places who don't like the changes, who are talking up the downsides, both sides being very fiercely prosecuted on the text line at the moment? We might get to some more of those very shortly. We're going to be talking KI and Sea-Link. The Health Minister is going to join us this half hour. And then we want you to be the judge on a very weird story that comes to us about something that happened on an Etihad Airways flight. And what compensation, if any, do you get for being a hero on a flight? We'll talk about that after 8:30 today. First, though, it's time for Breaking It.
This is something that you're going to hear more of throughout the day because there is an email circulating amongst political and media circles with what is suggested to be with the new plan for the MotoGP track. Now, it's unverified at this stage. I just want to stress that at the start. But at the top of this document, it says official sensitive SA cabinet document. So take with that what you will. This may or may not be the official map, but what it shows is just a slight variation from the original MotoG plan that was released when the state government
We've got it up on the live stream right now, actually, if you'd like to take a look.
There we go. There's the original one. I think that is, or is that? No, that is, yeah, that's the original one. The updated one we're getting. Oh, no, that is the updated one. Sorry, if you're looking on the live stream, that's the updated one that's been sent around. The slight difference is when you get to the extension of Bartels Road. They've taken out the sort of chicaney turn that was expected to be there.
They've smoothed it out, that section.
They've smoothed it out. And what that means is it looks like more trees because they've smoothed out that chicaney part, if that's the correct terminology, and they've increased the runoff area. So as we know with MotoGP, some of these tight corners are going to need quite a big runoff area in case, the bikes take it too wide or not. Yes, so it looks like potentially more trees. It also looks like it is the part of the original plan where Rundle Street is going to be part of the track. Bartels Road, Wakefield Road will need to remain closed, and the Oban track, which is something we touched on last week that I don't think has been reported much around this, that during that period, we don't know for how long, the Oban will not be able to operate, which is going to have a significant impact on people in the northeast. When we talk about events in that area of the parklands, it's usually, those poor eastern suburbs, people having their roads closed for a little bit longer. But the Oban track means it's going to impact.
Yeah, it broadens out the impact significantly. So trying to decode the intent of that being sent around, I know you went out and had a chat with our resident Rev Ed, Sam Daddo. It doesn't sound as though any of the changes to the track are so significant that you're going to have MotoGP lovers or V8 lovers or anyone who knows it going, well, that's no longer the street circuit. It feels like it's insignificant on that part.
Yep.
So it has to be someone who wants it to be known that there's more trees going to go.
Yes. Probably someone within cabinet.
Someone within cabinet.
Maybe. Well, they're the only ones who get those documents,
Well,
you'd assume.
they're meant to be the only ones who get those documents. So that is an interesting one. It was up on the live stream. It having been sent around everyone, you'll probably see it around the place today.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll find out more throughout the day. But we wanted to get more now on a story we were talking about before the 8 o'clock news. This is the story that was on the front page of the Sunday Mail on the weekend about 22 children being given the gender-affirming surgery at the Women's and Children's Hospital. There was a review undertaken because it was found that those children did not receive psychiatric assessments before the surgeries took place. That review is not being released by the state government. So we wanted to talk to the Minister for Health and Wellbeing, Blair Boyer, who joins you now. Good morning, Minister. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, Stacey and Will.
I think the reason that was quoted in the paper as for the not releasing of the review is for confidentiality reasons. But as you and I know, you can release these documents and de-identify any information in there. We don't need to know names and suburbs and exact ages of children who might be identified in these documents. So will you release it de-identified?
Well, there's a couple of reasons that we don't intend on releasing it, Stacey. One is it does relate to, of course, pretty sensitive kind of, details. The report wasn't prepared with the intention of releasing it publicly. It was prepared as an internal review or report into a mistake that took place regarding 22 young people, as you said, who accessed gender-affirming care. I'll point out not surgery. We don't offer that in the public system in South Australia, and that was a decision that we recently made. It contains that kind of information, wasn't prepared, with a view to releasing it publicly, but rather to have recommendations to the government and to me as the minister around things that we should put in place to make sure that what happened where 22 young people accessed those services without receiving the support of a psychiatrist first. They did have, I understand, support from a psychologist, but not having the added level of a consult with a psychiatrist went against our model of care. How we can put things in place to make sure that doesn't happen again. Well, and that's what I'm going to do, and I can say that that's the recommendations of the report around how we do that.
Okay, so you can't release the report. Why not release the recommendations?
Well, I will look at doing that. I think there's kind of this view out there that perhaps the contents of the report might be suggesting that the services in some way need to stop or something like that. When I can tell you that's not the case. It is really focused at the things that weren't done correctly to, in the case of those 22 young people, around not having access to that psychiatric support and evaluation first. And the recommendations go to that. There's a few things that they talk about around improving the governance of the service, which is important, having a clinical lead, so someone who sits across the service to manage that process, to make sure that in each case where a family and their young person might come to seek advice, and I've actually been down to talk to the staff there early in my time as Minister for Health, because I wanted to have a better understanding myself, because I know it's something that I would get questions about. And I have to say, what really, I think, surprised me was a couple of things: the level of rigour around the decision-making process there and the advice that is given by a multidisciplinary team. So it's people with a whole range of different skills who all offer their own expertise to the family and the young person. And what they told me is that in many cases, actually, the family and young person then decide not to go ahead with any gender-affirming care at all. So they decide not to. So I think there is often the perception out there that, young people who are seeking to access that service or family, they go and get that advice, and the people who work there are very much kind of perhaps pushing the young people to go ahead with it. I can say with my hand on my heart, having had some long conversations with those staff, that's absolutely not what happens. They give very, very frank medical advice to those young people and families around what the gender affirming care might mean. And in many cases, it results in that family and young person actually deciding not to go ahead with it at all. But the recommendations around what we do to make sure in the future that mistake is not made again, we are going to put those in place to give, I guess, not just those who might be seeking to access the service, but South Australians more broadly who are very interested in this topic, a real level of confidence that we are following the model of care that we have in place here in South Australia, whilst nationally there is a review by the National Health and Research Council into this kind of model of care as well.
But Minister,
and we will look at any recommendations that come out of that for our state.
Can you see why not at least releasing the recommendations leaves a bit of a vacuum for people and a question mark in their minds as to, well, why isn't the government releasing the recommendations publicly then? And then that then leaves space for questions about the procedures and the policies that we don't get informed of or have the right to know about. And we just have to trust the government that they're implementing whatever recommendations. We have to trust SA Health is following the procedures, and that level of trust is then diminished because there's no accountability for it.
Yeah, no, I understand how people feel about that. I do. And I will look at whether or not we can release the recommendations, because I do agree, Stacey, that in the vacuum of being able to release information, people make up their own assessments about what might or might not be happening. And quite often that is very unhelpful to the government or the minister of the day as well, to be honest. So I will look at that. I will. And if we can do that in a way that does give South Australians and perhaps people who might be considering using the service as well a level of confidence in it, but also that we are taking those recommendations seriously. I'm here answering questions, and I always do. I always try to be as transparent as I can, because I know in the vacuum of information from ministers and governments, people tend to fill in the blanks, and often that's actually not necessarily correct. So if we can do it, we will. The model of care itself that we have in place is publicly available, I'm pretty sure, so people can look at that to see what the process is supposed to be in South Australia. Obviously, in this case, in those 22 young people, it wasn't followed, which led to this report in the first place. But my reassurance to you and to your listeners and to South Australians is that this is something, as Minister, I take very, very seriously. And I hope the fact that very early in the piece I asked for a meeting with the service to talk to the staff myself to better understand what actually happens and doesn't happen there. I hope that is taken as evidence of how seriously I do take these issues.
If procedures weren't followed 22 times, does that suggest there's a degree of resistance within those providing care to the sort of mandated psychiatrist, government oversight and way in which this whole area is managed?
I think it's a fair question, but I've obviously read the report, and I don't think that's what happened. It was a mistake, essentially, that it wasn't done. In those 22 cases, Will, the young people had access to a psychologist, but not a psychiatrist. After it was discovered that it wasn't done properly and it wasn't done in accordance with our model of care, they were all reviewed by a psychiatrist, and that team said that actually, in all those cases, that the correct decision was ultimately made, but the model of care just was not followed. So it is a serious mistake. There's absolutely no doubt about that, for a couple of reasons. One, not following the model of care is always, of course, serious, but secondly to that, of course, it raises questions, and people tend to then lose confidence in the decision-making process and the rigour around that. And that's why we started this review in the first place, and why we have recommendations that we will put in place, so we can tell families, young people who might want to use the service, that we are following the model of care as we should, but also to the South Australian public, who will no doubt have questions about this, that we are following that model of care and doing the right thing, and that if mistakes are made, we go back and we investigate that and we put things in place to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and that is what we are doing here.
Okay, Minister, thanks for your time this morning.
It's 23 minutes after 8.
We'll stay in touch on that one to see if the recommendations are released. The opposition's also been in touch, saying labelling the issue as a mistake fails to understand the seriousness of what's occurred here. It's a system failure. If Labor wants to give people confidence in the service, they should release it in full. So I think you'll be hearing.
Well, they should at least release the recommendations, because it's impossible to have faith in a service that has failed 22 times in the past. If you say, well, we have been told a way to fix this, we're just not going to tell you how. That just doesn't pass the pub test. I'm sorry. Let's check traffic.
Morning there. A couple of collisions to look out for today. One at Virginia, Penfield Road at King Road. Another one getting cleaned up at Modbury. 2 cars involved in this one. Northeast Road near Smart Road, but good news, no delays there. Paracombe in the Hills, Rockslide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague Roads this morning, and we're getting busy South Road through Myland and Theberton. Cameras, Campbell Road, Elizabeth Downs and Hallett Road at Burnside. Census night was Tuesday, the 11th of August. There's still time to complete in the census. Every answer matters. Authorised by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Canberra. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Adelaide Crows, a game that you must win via the top side, Freo.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks I'm not sure has helped. As you know, Timmy, you played in a bucket load of finals. You don't want to be in a position where you're reliant on other people's results.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
That word mathematically. Nobody likes that.
No one likes that.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
If you are thinking about double glazing, remember a quote and a consultation aren't the same thing. A quote is about measurements and price, but when you're upgrading an existing home, there's more to consider than what fits where. A consultation from DG for Double Glazing looks at the whole picture, how rooms are laid out, where furniture sits, and how you use the space. That's why they offer a free in-home consultation. And they only use quality trend windows. Visit dgfordoubleglazing.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Your old hot water system can drive as much as 40% of your energy bill. Fortunately, you can upgrade to something that's 70% cheaper to run and better for the environment.
Right Price is famous for heating and cooling, solar and roofing, and they're also the leaders in heat pumps installation. Now's the time to upgrade and save money on a more efficient hot water system. And with the government covering your installation plus other subsidies, you could bring down the cost of a heat pump by half.
That is a massive saving, and thanks to Right Price Hot Water, it's more affordable than ever to make the switch. Reduce your energy costs today with a heat pump from Right Price. Make the switch with Right Price Hot Water.
Illusion Fire's biggest sale in 5 years is now on. Save up to 50% across every heater with ultimate wood heaters from just $5.99 and gas log fires from $19.99. Get in store today, but hurry, once they're gone, they're gone.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
27 after 8. Sea-Link put out an update yesterday with regard to the new Kangaroo Island ferries, plural, the second of which is undergoing sea trials that haven't gone exactly according to plan. During the harbour commissioning and final testing of the fire deluge systems, a pipe used for testing failed, resulting in a discharge of water onto electrical components.
Oh.
So that's not ideal. And what does it mean for people on KI? Well, it means that the temporary 3-day shutdown of the ferry services that was going to commence from the 1st of September, this is to install the new ramps for the new ferries, will now be delayed until Tuesday the 20th of October through to the Thursday the 22nd of October. Now, that is an inconvenience if you live there, and if you were travelling there, it goes triply or maybe 10 times so if you are someone who is involved in the industry that relies on, like livestock, for example. If you're involved in the livestock industry, you've got to shift a whole bunch of stuff around now. School holiday period, all sorts of issues. The Mayor of the Kangaroo Island Council is Michael Pengilly. Michael, this is obviously suboptimal. What do you foresee as the big challenges now for both people and produce that the island is responsible for?
Yeah, good morning, guys and the listeners. Look, it's extremely frustrating. We don't know whether we're up or down at the moment. This has been going on now for a good while, number of years, without knowing when boats are going to come. I just wish Sea-Link had shut up, and done nothing until they had the boats both here, changed the ramps over and brought on the new ones, Will. I'm aware of people who've bought Qantas tickets for that first or third shutdown that was proposed at a great cost because they had to get away then. I'm also aware that September through to Christmas is our peak stock season, so we've got to have stock going out day after day. An interruption then is not going to be helpful. That needs to be on a weekend, not in the middle of the week. We're working with abattoirs. One Airbnb person rang me and said they'd lost $2,000 in bookings because of this shutdown. Now the shutdown's not a shutdown. It's back. The ferries are still working, and they've lost their money and their bookings. So it's just painful to be.
Well, it's now it's the one shutdown for the price of two now, isn't it? As far as the industry is concerned.
Yeah, it's really dislocates the island's economy, its people, visitors, livestock, the whole lot, and it's been very, very clumsily handled the whole way through. Fortunately, Minister Sockhart has come out and had a fair bit to say about it in the last day or so. We just need some stability. We need some surety. Look, if these boats are not going to be ready by that second start date, just tell us. Let us know where we are so people can get about going through their lives properly and orderly.
Well, Mayor, you won't be surprised that we've looked up the Qantas flights for the original shutdown date just to make sure, just to see what they're doing with prices. They went up by a few $100s as soon as the shutdown was announced, and now that the shutdown is not happening, they haven't gone down by that much. They've gone down by average $30.
Yeah.
Well. How surprising.
Yeah. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yes. No, it's just a very ordinary time, and they had the bells and whistles opening on the first boat back here a couple of weeks ago, which I could go to, I might add. But, we thought things were in train, but now they're not again. It would appear there's been some fairly serious discussions between government and the company over the weekend, to say the least. We're the meat in the sandwich, the island, this community, our people, our visiting public, everybody. So it's just highly annoying, highly frustrating.
Do you think there's a compensation angle to this, Mayor?
Well, I think that's really up to the, those who want to have a crack at it. Sealink are pretty vulnerable on this. So it's, look, I don't know where that'll go, Will. I really don't know. I think most people made their arrangements very quickly at a great deal of cost. So, okay.
All right, Mayor, thank you. That's Mayor Michael Pengili from the Kangaroo Island Council. So just to repeat, for those on KI who've booked you, certainly those in industry and in hospitality as well, you've accepted and had time to prepare for a 3-day shutdown at the start of September that's moved back now 6-8 weeks into October.
For anyone who is on KI or wants to go to KI on those October dates, flights are still...
Actually, yeah, as of right now.
As of right now. I guess in about half an hour's time or...
We'll check them again by 9 o'clock.
Tomorrow, yeah. They might not be, but at the moment there's around $300.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Well, we'll see how long that takes to change.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
18 with a shower or two today with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Keep your body in shape with Physio Extra clinical Pilates and group exercise classes. PhysioExtra.com.
3 teenagers were robbed at knife point in the city last night. It happened near Miller's Arcade just before 11. Police searched the area and located a 17-year-old boy, a 20-year-old man and a 21-year-old man in Goodger Street. The trio was armed with a hammer and a knife. It's alleged they were carrying the victim's stolen property, including bags, a jacket and a phone. They'll face court later today. A man's blown more than 4 times the legal limit after mounting a median strip and crashing into a sign. Police were called to the Salisbury Highway near the intersection with Kings Road just before 7 last night. The driver returned a blood alcohol reading of 0.218. The 41-year-old from Salisbury has lost his licence for 12 months. As many young Australians consider the effects of AI on their careers, the The federal government wants more people to consider a career in the trades. Data suggests 9 in 10 new jobs across the country will need some form of tertiary qualification. Minister for Skills and Training Andrew Giles says skilled trades will be in demand.
It's been fantastic to see 36,000 new housing and construction apprentices in just 13 months. So I think when young people in particular are thinking about choices, they're thinking about a career that they know is going to be secure.
A warning's been issued about scams using AI to create fake financial websites and endorsements. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission says it's seen a rise in online scams using fake videos of celebrities and politicians encouraging people to part with their money. ASIC Chair Sarah Court says the scams are increasingly hard to detect.
What we know is that they're not genuine and that there are real networks sitting behind these videos to further deceive consumers.
Australians who are unsure if they're fully vaccinated against vax are being urged to check their records as experts warn of age-related immunity gaps. A National Centre for Immunisation Research and Surveillance study shows nearly 7% of our population didn't have adequate protection from measles in 2019. Lead author Zoe Croker says those born from 1977 onwards were most at risk of catching the disease.
We also found that people born in 1993 to 95 and in the early 2000s have a higher susceptibility.
Sam Pang has taken home the top honour at the 2026 Logie Awards. He was presented with the Gold Logie by Magda Szubanski, who made her first public appearance since her cancer battle. Deborah Mailman became the first Indigenous person to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And SA's Banana Boogie Bakery is celebrating after winning back the title of Best Vanilla Slice in the nation. Head baker Jason Spencer says it went down to the wire.
We missed out last year by 2 points. We would have gone 3 in a row, but it wasn't to be last year. But we knew what we'd made a mistake with the year before, and we fixed that up this year. So those 1% things actually pay off in the end.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance on now. Save on Pajero Sport, ASX, Triton and Outlander. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. Josh Fraser says he's none the wiser on when Carlton will announce its next senior coach. The Blues locking in a place in the finals after yesterday's draw against the Western Bulldogs. The interim coach says he'd been thinking about applying for a while.
It's been crystallising in my mind that I want to go through the process, and the club approached me to see if I would be part of that. That timeline got pushed out a little bit, and then things happened pretty quickly around committing to going through the process and then presenting. But for me, it wasn't like I was putting a presentation together in 2 days. This is a work in progress for anyone that wants to be a senior coach. You're building that over a number of years.
Carlton is likely to take on Adelaide in the wildcard round after the weekend's results. There were 2 games to wrap up round 23 yesterday on top of that draw. Callum Brown with 4 goals and Aaron Cadman 3 to help GWS to a 54-point win against West Coast, while Charlie Curnow booted 4 goals to all but wrap up the Coleman medal as Sydney cemented second spot with a 36-point win over Essendon. Well, a century from Cameron Green couldn't save Australia from an embarrassing 9-wicket loss to Bangladesh in the first test in Darwin. Captain Pat Cummins has hinted at potential changes to the batting lineup, with Jake Weatherald and Marnus Labuschagne under increasing pressure. Barcelona has agreed to a £65 million deal to sign Spanish captain Rodri from Manchester City. Meantime, Arsenal has recorded a 3-0 win against Manchester City to claim the Community Shield. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Let's check the 5AA traffic.
Morning there. A couple of smaller bingles to look out for this morning. You'll find one at Virginia, Penfield Road at King Road. Another one involving 2 cars at Modbury, but no great delays there. Northeast Road at Smart Road. In the hills of Parracombe, Rockslide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague Roads this morning. And we're getting quite busy South Road, Glandore, and also at FIVEAA. Camera to look out for at the moment, Waterloo Corner Road at Burton. The Day Zero sale is coming to Anytime Fitness August 19th only. Join for $0 plus get 4 weeks free. Visit your local Anytime gym or search Anytime Fitness. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Sydney Street, timeless fashion on Unley Road, and now on the Parade Norwood. Across the road from Bongiorno's.
18 with a shower or 2 today, 18 with showers increasing tomorrow, showers easing, and 18 for Wednesday. partly cloudy, and 17 on Thursday. Right now it's 15 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
20 years ago, FIVEAA Milk Company was formed with a simple purpose: to give South Australians the freshest quality milk, farmed by the best SA dairy families. Keep it local, keep it real, keep farming families farming. 20 years on, FIVEAA Milk Company produces over 17 million litres of milk every year, supporting 9 SA dairy families and employing over 100 South Australians. Look for local FIVEAA Milk Company products at your supermarket, and let's keep a good thing going.
Do you need legal help right now? At Anderson Solicitors, we put people first, providing expert advice from our 6 locations when it's needed. For over 50 years, we've been helping South Australians through life's legal challenges. Anderson Solicitors, help when you need it.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
G'day. I'm the cold.
I'm the heat.
I'm the noise. If you don't have double glazing from DG for double glazing, well, we just wanted to say thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
DG for double glazing makes it really hard for us to get in. So, if your home is freezing...
or hard to keep cool...
oh, noisy! That's us. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Keep them all out. For a free in-home consultation, visit dgfordoubleglazing.com.au.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Daniel Talia, ex-Crows legend, is the general manager of a company called Home, spelled H-A-U-M-E. And put simply, Daniel and his team, they buy homes without or any of the hassle of going through an agent.
No open inspections, no strangers wandering through your home, no waiting around for months hoping for the right buyer. They don't charge fees, and there's no advertising costs or commissions, none of it.
They just make the process of selling your home easy. It's as simple as that. If your home was built before the 90s and you're thinking of downsizing, the team at Home can help you sell quickly without the stress, without the complicated paperwork or the usual back and forth.
So skip the uncertainty and sell your home the easy way. Thinking of downsizing? Visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lower energy bills with your energy saving solutions. Thanks to the SA Government's REPS initiative, eligible households can upgrade to an Emerald hot water heat pump system from just $1,999 fully installed. Emerald is Australia's #1 hot water heat pump brand. It's easy to say yes to Emerald with your energy saving solutions. For full terms and conditions, visit yess.com.au.
Some things are worth waiting for, like tickets to your favourite concert, waiting for a nice bottle of Red to breathe, or waiting for the kids to finally unpack the dishwasher. But waiting to get your air conditioner serviced just before summer or winter really hits? It's just not worth the pain. Get in touch with Morford Air now for servicing or a new system. Put it at the top of your to-do list. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
Stop dreaming and start living. Win one of 3 Dreamhaven caravans. Plus there's 50k in vouchers to be won nationally. Buy the advertiser, find today's code word and enter online at winwithnews.com.au. Conditions apply. SAT 26/659.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
17 minutes to 9. Lots of good texts coming through. Sue has sounded off about Qantas and the airfares that the poor old people in KI were getting slugged as a result of the now cancelled ramp upgrades for the new ferries there that they've now had to put back into October. So there was a 3-day period where everyone could only get on and off the island by plane. Fares went up to over $1,000 from $300.
Yep.
Now they've gone down by $35.
One of our listeners made the point last week when we were talking about it. Someone should open up a sandwich shop near Qantas headquarters and introduce dynamic pricing. So there's only 5 sandwiches. That means they're $250. And as someone buys one, that means they go up to $500 because of demand, supply and demand.
It's a fantastic
We only
idea.
have so many sandwiches available today, and because there's only one left, you have to pay $1,500 for it.
I think that's an excellent idea.
I love it.
Speaking of airways, have a listen to this story from Ethan Watt. I want you to, folks, you can be the judge. Has Ethan been dudded here or not for his actions that he took on an Etihad Airways flight?
There's a situation arising at the back of the plane. If we could, are we able to call on you and are you able to help? Got to a point where he was even threatening to rip people's faces off. Me and the 3 other guys pretty much had to restrain him and tie him to one of the chairs. From there, they did decide to try and move him. From then, that's when he actually wriggled free and ran down the plane. So he was then tackled on the plane. I had to run up the aisle and assist with the tackle. And that's when he actually ended up biting a chunk out of one of the other guy's arms.
So really scary situation. Someone's lost their mind on a flight. The attendants have come to Ethan. They've said, this is getting a bit rowdy. We might need your help. He stepped in. He's clearly done his duty.
I wonder what the criteria was there, just a burly-looking bloke?
Yeah, he looked like a big guy, could handle himself, I guess.
Yeah, can you help us out, sir?
Puffed the chest out a little bit. And so he was more than happy to help. And maybe, whatever, for whatever reason he was chosen. He then received a $50 food and beverage voucher from Etihad Airways. I'm not sure he's raising any concerns about this, to be fair, but a few people have said, so you've been called on to assist with a violent offender on the plane who's bitten and injured someone, and you've been given a $50 voucher. Now, some people might say, and I'm really sure our audience falls on this, you asked to do something heroic, you do so without needing or wanting thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Ethan wanted anything. Just generally speaking, if you're going to outsource the security of your passengers to the passengers, do they deserve more than a $50 food and beverage voucher? Maybe a free flight? Maybe 50% off a flight?
I don't know. If you're a doctor
yes,
on a flight and you get called upon, do you think a doctor would ever go back and say, hey, that $50 voucher you've given me?
Depends on the doctor.
Maybe.
That's a good question. If you are a doctor, do you get a $50 food and beverage voucher? That's a great.
I actually wouldn't expect anything.
No.
I wouldn't expect.
It's almost better that you sometimes getting nothing is actually almost better. Like a nice
that's true.
letter to say thank you for your assistance.
Yeah.
We appreciated our staff. Here's $50. Just makes it sound so piddling.
What would please me? Just a little glass of champers.
Yes.
On the flight. Something in the moment.
Maybe champers was the genesis of the whole problem. They just.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not give anyone else any more alcohol.
Let us know your thoughts, folks. Is he been a little unders for rendering assistance, or do you just do these things without, expecting anything in return?
Gypped or justified?
Gypped or justified. It's like a jury. We can treat it like a jury. 8223 0000 is the number. Let's go to Mark McGill, the CEO of Variety and a good friend of the program. We love Variety and the incredible work they do supporting South Australian families and kids. The bash is wrapped up for another year. Sav, good morning to you. What post-bash stage are you in? Is the voice hoarse and you're recovering, or you're okay?
Good morning, Will. Good morning.
Well, that answers that then.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Stacey Lee. Yes, no, weather fine, track fast. Yeah, thank you very much.
You guys did a different track this year, a different route.
That's true, and not a tree was hurt in that. I might just add. No, it was a wonderful. We had to. You may recall we had to change our route from we were going up to Birdsville, but that got washed out. And but the great aspect of that was that we were allowed to have the bash wholly within South Australia. So we had 8 wonderful days where we toured the West Coast and the Eyre Peninsula, and it was just fantastic. And obviously delivering an amazing financial result to support more children across South Australia.
And we're looking at some of the vision on our live stream now, the colourful characters. There's the team from Toy Story. You've got the pink ladies. It looked like you even had the Sushi Mango boys on board this year, which is great.
Well, yeah.
Are you finding it's reaching new generations each year?
Well, that car, the Sushi Mango, had 3 generations.
Oh.
So it involved in terms of their putting the car together, putting their team together. So that's the perfect outcome for us. So, but to post a fundraising total of over $2 million, $55,000 over $2 million, was just an incredible effort by every single entrant, our sponsors, our wonderful volunteers. Those volunteers, Stacey, we've got 95% of our officials on the event are volunteers. So that our event couldn't simply run without them, and we couldn't post the dollar number without them. And it makes us very efficient and makes us very effective in terms of increasing that impact on the many tens of thousands of children. Every cent of that will be invested back into supporting those children in the next 12 months.
Sav, looking at the pictures on the Facebook and YouTube live stream at the moment, I mean, the cars, the smiles, the money being raised, all the things we're seeing are not out of the ordinary. That's what you guys do each and every year. But I've got to say, the South Australia looks green out there at the moment. Yeah. Clearly, the outback's been getting plenty of rain.
Oh, we had so much so, Will, that we've been to these regions many times before, and it looked at a completely different landscape. The crops are incredible. They're talking about generational change in terms of the impact that this rain right across the state's going to have. But that those communities not long ago, and doesn't take 3 or 4 years ago, the same communities were in drought. So it's a very fluky livelihood in terms of that. But that also the community interaction with the entrants, the cars, the children. And not only that, the economic benefit, many, many hundreds of thousands of dollars went back into all those communities, from Corn to Streaky Bay, Kimber, Cleve, and we end up in Port Pirie, through accommodation and meals and repairs and fuel. And so it's not only the long-term benefit that South Australia has from this incredible fundraising effort, it's the immediate economic benefit that's dealt with the community, but also the goodwill, the really goodwill.
Good point. Good on you, Mark. Thank you for that. And congratulations to you for another great year doing such wonderful work for kids and families across South Australia. Mark McGill, the CEO of Variety SA. We're getting a remarkable amount of stories about compensation for good deeds.
Yeah.
Is it up to snuff or not? After hearing Ethan Watt from Etihad Airways being called in to secure the plane effectively from some loon that was running around, bit someone in the end, got a $50 voucher. Some people think it's fair, some unfair. We'll get to some calls and some of your own stories right after this.
Couple of crashes look out for this morning. One at Modbury North East Road at Smart Road, another one at Virginia, Penfield Road at Kings Road. Got a burst water main that just popped up this morning at Glen Osmond Road near Queen's Avenue. And Paracombe Rock Slide has closed a section of Gorge Road. There are detours via the Corkscrew and Montague roads today. Early morning cameras, Bagster Road, Salisbury North, and got one right now, Hallett Road at Burnside. Just look for the big van on the left side of the road. Lock in 12 months of award-winning value with Aussie Broadband and save up to $240 on select internet plans. In September 18, aussiebroadband.com.au. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
You might have heard Dave and Will talking about Matt from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. Matt runs the depot and he's big on helping people out. If you need to move things or people, Matt has it covered. From single and dual cab utes, 4x4s and tray tops, to small and large vans and 12 to 22 seat buses for short or long-term hire. Ask for Matt's Mates rates. Visit avis.com.au or call 8241 5200. 8241 5200.
Some swear jars collect coins, but at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, their swear jar collects promises.
Hi, I'm Renette, a designer. I swear to listen to your ideas and help create a functional space for you.
Hi, I'm Rick the plumber. I swear to always be on time and clean up after myself.
I'm Laura. I swear to help bring your thoughts and design ideas to life, just how you envisioned them, or better.
For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Now, you know what hackers love? They love a busy finance team, a Friday afternoon, and just one email saying we've changed our bank details. One fake invoice, one payment, the money's then gone, the lawyers are involved, and everyone wants answers.
That is exactly why you've got to protect your business. It's not a luxury anymore, it's a necessity. And remember, even if you think you're protected, it might not be enough. Cybercrime evolves every day.
The best thing you can do right now is get in touch with a trusted cybersecurity company called FXIT. It's spelled EFEX. So get in touch with FXIT and organise your free cybersecurity audit.
FX helps protect Adelaide businesses from hackers and gives you peace of mind.
Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect. That's efex.com.au/protect.
Nobody chooses an accident, but you may choose who repairs your car.
Check your policy, then choose Pro Paint and Panel for high standard repairs, towing if required, and manage all the insurance paperwork for you.
Remember the 3 Ps. Pro Paint and Panel. South Road, Hindmarsh.
When you're gone, who gets the things that tell your story? Like the classic car you've kept immaculate, the beach shack filled with family memories, or the record collection from your youth. If you don't plan now, it could get messy. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Planning your next event? Choose a venue where everything comes together. Adelaide Convention Centre. It's where your vision and our expertise come together, where creative cuisine meets extraordinary productions, and excitement and innovation combine in a space that is truly world-class. From corporate gatherings to grand celebrations, we make every occasion unforgettable. Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre and start planning your next event today.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
4 to 9. Ethan Watt, an Australian on an Etihad Airways flight, got a $50 food and beverage voucher as thanks for wrestling a violent person on board the plane at the request of Etihad Airways staff. It started a bit of a debate. Is that a reasonable sort of compensation? Should you deserve any for doing a heroic act? Is the act itself the thanks? Well, we're getting some stories through. Dave in South Brighton's got one for us. Morning, Dave.
Morning, guys. I cleared a blocked toilet at a pub in North Adelaide many years ago and got paid 3 drinks all night for clearing the blocked pan.
You wouldn't have been unhappy with that, though, Dave.
Oh, no, I wasn't unhappy at all. And another one, with your coincidences, Penbo, earthquake, wildfires, are we really going to let him back into Australia?
Good point.
Chaos is causing?
Yeah, that's actually a good point, Dave.
Well, actually, the national team won the World Cup, so maybe
yes.
while he was there.
Yeah, see, stuff happens when Penbo's around, good and bad. We know that. How about Georgia's story? Georgia says, I pulled a guy out of the ocean that had a heart attack out front of my hotel in Thailand.
Oh, wow.
The hotel staff just watched on while I gave him CPR. He then died. After my husband complained about not hearing anything from hotel management, I got a fruit platter delivered to our room 2 days later.
I shouldn't laugh. I don't know whether I could laugh at that story or not.
No, I think that's genuinely.
Devastating,
it's awful, but it's kind of funny.
A fruit platter.
You can just imagine the chat. The emails going back to management. They're complaining. They've tried to save a life. What do we have? I don't know. When we got a welcome platter, can we send them one of them?
Just one of those ones in the fridge.
Did they arrange it with the letters CPR? I don't know. Georgia didn't provide any form of information.
Scott makes a good point.
Yes.
If Ethan got a $50 voucher, what the hell did the guy that lost a chunk of his arm get?
That's a great question.
And I like this text from Mark at McGill. Australian mates deal. It should have been a slab.
Yeah, that's
totally
the going rate.
Yep. If your friend helps you move house,
Yep.
slab.
You attack, you restrain a violent offender, slab. It's all the same. It's with one currency. Thank you. I think we got that one sorted. So Etihad, if you're listening, I'm not sure that sort of gels with the general ethos of Etihad and where they operate in the world. They have easy access to slabs. I'm not sure. Thank you. Now, Fuel Watch. Don't get stuck on the side of the road. Get RAA road service. The cheapest spots are these. The Yugo Main North Road, Clearview, $1.91.5. The Solo, Marion Road, Marion, $1.93.5. And the cheapest diesels, $2.37.5. Henley Beach Road at the United. Have a wonderful day, folks. We'll catch you.